answer hearing the other spiel.
No one can prevent all thefts or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can alert you to threats you could miss.
Tom, Mark, are we still doing approval? Yes, through the month. Yes, absolutely.
Go to lifelock.com and enter
and then we'll talk about
promo
that.
code get news.
Absolutely.
More protection, more protection.
And all the in-house stuff was done. Nothing I need to know.
The man behind the business. Kevin Calkin, the owner, is honorable and will never sell you anything you don't need. He will take care of you like one of his own. He has thousands of loyal customers and has been in business for
Who is Nancy Hole? Is she or
Macy's closing the month.
60
locations.
I agree on the retail.
Students like Nordstrom's and Macy's, what happens is those malls end up empty. Who goes to the mall with no anchors, right? What are you going to go there for the fucking ice cream?
They'll probably be
Just retail. Macy's is closing 60 more stores. Oh my God, a lot of stores are closing. A lot of stores are closing.
Happened immediately. They gave me like 2 days notice and
Media,
got my paycheck.
Troubleshooter,
And how
oh,
much did
the
they pay?
one, the railways.
Just under $1,000.
Cool.
So it pretty much
John funded that.
Hard to make your mortgage and Christmas.
Soon about this morning.
Yeah, we were having some serious trouble.
And
Right
then,
thing.
what happened next?
Yeah.
I mean, you called and
I think it's just tragic that something that's as good as this is being just
and then within 2 days of
stepped
that,
all over by
we went
so many
to
big
the
ones.
IRS and got
Yeah,
payment
I mean,
plans
it's-
set up to where it was
like I
gonna
said,
cost me
well, it's true. You're right.
$1,000 a month.
They're doing the Cairo stuff. So
I know.
that's why we're out here talking about.
Definitely saved our world.
if the IRS is impacting your life and you want to phone lines, give us a call. Advanced Tax Solutions from your Colfax in Newark, 16th and Gaylord.
You have some online tutorials that are really good.
6040 or go to
Tested, no viable cells.
Somebody did that?
Yeah. Stem cells, stem cells, stem cells, stem cells, stem cells, stem cells. During the seminar. So that's what was the general concept.
Mark, we have to do that.
Who's the new baby?
Oh,
It's the guys that run it before.
Okay, is that legitimate?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay. Wow.
In fact, it goes over the president of Stem Cell Institute of America, is a convicted felon. So he got convicted and sentenced to 3 years in jail for fraud in 2008.
Oh my God, that place is huge.
Interesting stuff. He had got caught in an FBI sting operation. They were billing for services as a chiropractor that was never rendered. And then they were splitting the money with.
we want to get a Rhonda on with Christian Brothers.
Would never show up.
Tom, that news place is advertised all over TV. Stem Cell Institute of America.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. The only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. The longest running radio show here to help you to solve your problems, answer your questions, take your complaints, and make your life just a little easier. Welcome to 2018. We're in this is the real week. I think up till now it's been laissez-faire. You know, people are just taking it easy. And now we get back to business. Back to business. I have taken some time off, Mark Major at the controls, and we have a lot of things to talk about and to follow up. So welcome. If you have any questions, give us a call. If you have any problems, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And as I like to point out, we've recovered millions of dollars, hundreds of millions, for people who've been lied to, cheated, and ripped off. Mark, what's going on?
We had some great ones last week.
I know. And
we're going to have an update on Christian Brothers. It's going to be unbelievable.
We have a lot of cases being worked on behind the scenes. Of course, you can always keep up with us on social media and call us here for the latest developments. We have guests today, and as you know, when we have guests, we don't concentrate on one topic, but we talk about various things throughout the show. And some of my favorite topics, and the reason I love this one topic so much, I just absolutely love the thing about the new orthodontics and Dr. Kent Lawson, because basically of what he's doing for my kids. Mark, you know, it used to be that, you know, you put kids in braces for 6 or 7 years and retainers and surgeries and extractions and widening the palate with it was a terrible ordeal.
We lived through it with both our kids.
Okay, well now I'm paying, this is true, I mean, I'm a real customer. I don't get special pricing. I'm paying a small monthly, I'm paying just a couple $100 or a little over a month, okay? And my kids, both of them, are in the program. And there's no big lump sum of money. There's no big outlay. It's just a program. And they wear a series of mouthpieces at night. That's it. 1 hour during the day and then at night. And gradually, their teeth right now are getting straight. Now, I think, wait a minute. Will they need braces? Well, sometimes kids need braces, yes. But they need them for way less time, right, Dr. Ken Lawson? Way less time than normal. If you have kids with crooked teeth, listen, this is incredible. They wear these mouthpieces. My daughter, I don't even know if she's going to need braces. So when they wear these mouthpieces, it's such a slow process, you would think. But I'm noticing, how long have they been? They've been going to you now for probably 8 months, maybe? 8 months? Something like that.
You know, possibly. But you're right, Tom. And the majority, more than half, don't need braces later. And if they do...
So you get them early enough. With these mouthpieces, you never spend money on... And their jaws are properly aligned, and they breathe better because they're widened palate.
Yes, that's absolutely correct, and it's in a very natural way is the nice thing. You're not moving them around, forcing the teeth around with braces, and then they'll potentially relapse later. So it's very stable.
When they do wear braces, it's for less time. So the whole program in general is way less than a normal orthodontic procedure, right?
Well, it's certainly way less if they don't need braces. If they do need braces, it's never really more than what it would be.
And probably less because they need them less time. At least in all the people I've been talking to, they're saving a ton of money, and that's wonderful. But you don't even think about the money because, like you said, it's not going to be more. Welcome, Dr. Kent Lawson. You have something to plug for tonight quickly?
Yes, we've got an open house lecture.
Is this for the adult side or the child side?
Well, it's for the child's.
Okay, good.
It's at NEO, New Early Orthodontics. That's at the Lincoln Light Rail Station, and that is at 6 o'clock. There's refreshments and general get-together.
It's 6 o'clock tonight. If they want to know more about this procedure for children.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the number to call, we went on RSVP on it.
Okay.
303-690-0400.
0400.
And then the lecture starts at 6:30, and then a Q&A after that around 7.
So it's from 6:30 on, or do you want them to show up at 6?
We want them to show up at 6, have a little refreshment, and then get attuned to what we're doing.
Now, here's the deal. You will learn so much about this if you know anyone who has children ready for braces. Can you get in the middle of somebody who's already going through the procedures if they've already started seeing an orthodontist?
Well, it's more difficult because, of course, you're going to have to change programs, and there could be additional fees because of that. But so it's better if we can
get them early. How old?
As early as age 3, 4. And
my kids were 8, 9. It still works.
Yeah, it works great.
Okay.
Before all the permanent teeth are coming in is the best time, and they'll come in normally around age 12.
All right. So to sign up for that for tonight at 6 o'clock, or just give them a call anytime for a review. 303-690-0400. 303-690-0400. Now they have an adult version of this, 2 years, and they can do the same thing essentially, 2 years without the veneers. And I'm going to tell you, veneers are $50,000, $60,000. This is pennies on the dollar compared to that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
for adults, I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to the phones, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Then we'll talk to our other guest, another doctor. Jorge, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good, man. What's going on with the roof?
Well, I hired a gentleman. I found him on Google, and I hired him and to come and do my roofing. And first I hired him to come and look at my kitchen to see if he could give me an estimate to find out how much it would cost to put cabinets and whatnot. And there talking with him, I decided, you know what, let's just skip the kitchen for a minute because I got some money coming in from the insurance to do the roof.
All right, so where do we go? Where do we go to the problem?
Okay, well, the problem is that we gave him a check up front. We gave a cashier's check.
How much?
$2,500.
$2,500. Why did you do that?
Because normally a lot of these companies, supposedly I heard from different sources that they won't start work until they have half of the money there. So we signed a contract, and so the whole total job was going to be for $5,000.
First of all, I have no problem if work actually starts and materials are delivered, if you put down part of the money, I don't go for half. Personally, I won't do it. Excel Roofing doesn't require a dime until you're done. And most of the people on the referral list, they do graduated payments. They don't, or they wait till the end. And George, you mentioned you found your roof. Google's a search engine. We're what we are at the referral list. We're not a search engine. We are a search out engine, and we keep out the bad guys. That's one thing Google hasn't figured out how to do. So I need to know, what are they doing wrong? Let's get right to the problem.
Okay, well, I did give them that money.
Yes, what did they do wrong?
Well, they were supposed to start right the next day, and they never did. He got ill. Finally, I kept calling him. He got ill.
So where is it right now? Where is it right now?
Right now, nothing has been done since October 13th.
So how much of the roof is done?
Nothing. Nothing has been done.
Any work anywhere? Any work?
Nothing.
What's the name of the roofer?
The gentleman's name is David Archbell. His company's name is Wild Card Investments.
Wild Card Investments. This is almost funny if it wasn't you and I didn't feel so badly for you. Wild Card Investments.
Jorge, why'd you give him a cashier's check, by the way?
I just gave him a cashier's check just because in the past I have done business with other people and whatnot, and I always found out that doing a cashier's check, it would be the safest way.
Well, it actually is the worst thing you could do. So,
oh boy, okay.
Yeah, and you'll get greater results because it actually works on the structure of their mouth, and it can avoid sleep apneas, it can avoid TMJ, it can avoid a lot of problems in the future. 303-690-0400, 303-690-0400. We have a lot more coming up. Keep your calls coming, 303-713-TALK.
From the L&L Heating.
You know what sucks about going viral?
Other than a few minor slow spots.
Now we're negative like unbelievable on Facebook. You know what I mean?
System I-25 looking good from Thornton and Northland.
Another viral one.
Center. No delays. I-70 from Golden, Arvada, traveling through the North Ave and out towards Boulevard.
We had a video that went viral. What I was saying though is we had one that go 4 or 5 million people, but then the next week the stats look so bad it's unbelievable. Last week we were up 9,480%. Now of course we're down the same. So it's like
3 or 4 million.
Yeah, I know. What sucks though is then you go straight downhill.
What was the video?
It was a guy driving in a Ford truck, and it's doing this. I mean, it's so, you'd think he's driving down railroad tracks, but it's called the death wobble. And one of the dealerships was trying to tell him it was normal, which, of course, it wasn't normal.
He says if you drive over 65, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one? Yeah. Actually, that came up on my feed. Oh, okay. I looked at it. Really? Oh, yeah. The dealer was trying to tell him that it was, okay, I didn't realize that's what that was all about.
Yeah. It was incredible. I mean, it went from, and when you watch something go viral, it's crazy. It goes to like 1,000, then to 2,000, and then like 4 hours later, you're at 10,000. It got to the point we were gaining about 100,000 plus an hour for about a 24-hour period. Yeah.
I grew up in a military family, and that's why it's important to me to remind veterans that it's time to take advantage of the VA benefits that you deserve. This is Ross Kaminsky, and I thank you for American Financing Bank.
Then it's all
down.
It's all front-range LED lighting. Want to do that?
Using your VA benefits, there's no down payment and no.
No, I think I got it. I think it's already going to be done.
That video I sent you is already at 100,000.
Any existing mortgage into a VA loan while
So
receiving access to
them at all?
value. That's
Have I
greater
heard
than
from
any
some
other loan
American?
company can offer, and even though it's called a VA loan, it's available to active duty military and spouses as well. So you don't have to wait to take advantage of such incredible savings.
So
A salary-based mortgage consultant will listen to your financial goals and customize a loan program that fits your
Yeah, it's basically what happens is these chiropractic managers, they'll do chiropractors will say, hey, you add a physician's assistant, you can start offering medical weight loss or hormone replacement therapies. So they got the idea that maybe
we got to tune it down again.
physician assistants in in these chiropractic offices start
Just back up.
injections using amniotic fluid. Like I say, YouTube, we got afraid of things years ago about what they're doing so nice. They can't really do something.
You need to get through
$1 million research lab, so we tested it.
Did we ever
There's no living tissue.
find Gil?
So it's a bait and switch program. So basically, the chiropractor's going to hey,
If we get okeyed up by another homeless person, we deserve it.
Yeah, that's all we're saying.
What do you mean?
I'll send you.
Are they going to do what
But it's interesting. It's been fascinating to see.
No, I don't even want to get into it, but it is what it is. Because, I mean, that was the best marketing idea ever in the business. I think it's a little too much. She got 100 the first time. Only took 20 of them. You know, she's spending $15 a pop. I mean, I understand where she's coming from, but it all comes down to the conversion. If the conversion's there, who gives
Was
a
the
shit?
conversion there?
I know she did 4 plus. I don't know how many.
Cupcakes were first class from your first day of cupcakes.
I got my results because I did one like
First class, first in class, top brass like yourself.
a week ago.
Oh, it's not faster than cars and vehicles.
That's what I'm saying. I forgot they were even coming.
We got to talk.
We are.
Now, Mark, we got to help.
No, we will.
Very, very sensitive.
Now, I happen to have another Radon guy on last week that's been on the referral list forever, Axiom. He shipped out over 100 of them.
Well, I thought he was going to do 20.
Or 20 of them.
We do.
He said he got 100 calls.
Mild to moderate.
Did you negotiate that? I got to update my endorsement.
Once it gets to the severe
Negotiate what?
very low success.
On which one?
Absolute radon.
We've got a registry of patients, 13,000.
Yeah, it's all done. Okay. We've got the contract.
Hi, the theme of this show today is saving money, and this hour is brought to you by LED lighting, front range LED lighting. Listen to this. If you don't do this, you're crazy. You can call Front Range LED Lighting right now and get your business converted for no money out of pocket, and you'll immediately save. First of all, their utility company gives you up to 50% of the installation costs in a rebate. Plus, you get savings on your electricity up to 80% or more. I mean, you can save half easily. Now, of course, everything depends on your installation, but you can get a free analysis. If you call Front Range LED Lighting, here's what happens. They'll install it, and you don't have to have any money out of pocket. They can finance the other half, and you'll still save money. Even with financing, you immediately save money. And when the loan's paid off, you save even more. It's extraordinary. No money out of pocket. If you have a commercial building, even if you're in a long-term lease or you own it, you got to convert to LED lighting. 719-262-2451, 719-262-2451. There's no reason to not do it. FrontRangeLights.com, 719-262-2451. And as I said, this is the day for saving. And I just got an email from someone who went to buy and build and said, Tom, this is a treasure. You're right, it is. 4800 Washington Street. Everything is at below wholesale. Below wholesale. Wholesale is a joke compared to this place. You can buy these vessel sinks that are normally like $500 and $600 for $80. He has toilets for $30. He has faucet sets that normally are $200 and $300 for $20 and $30. Buy and build. That's all I can say. Buy and build for owners, for wholesalers, for contractors, for consumers. 303-295-6022. That's 303-295-6022, buyandbuild.net. Remember, they are spectacular. So saving money is our theme. I told you about LED lighting, front range lighting, and buy and build. Remember those two. Now, let's keep going. Rudy, he says he's getting the runaround from State Farm Insurance. What else is new? State Farm, one of the worst insurance companies. If I made the list of the top 5, State Farm would be up there, along with Farmers, American Family, who else? Fred Loya. Who else for the bad ones? Farmers, Allstate.
I don't like the general.
No, I'm talking about the ones with State Farm. Hold on. Farmers, American Family, Fred Loya.
Allstate.
And you're right, Allstate. Okay, thank you. Rudy, what's going on with you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What's happening?
So, yeah, my vehicle has been sitting at Shortline Subaru since the 13th of November.
What's the problem?
So the problem is, like, Shortline is waiting on State Farm to approve supplement for.
So it's State Farm's problem, not the dealership. When was this damaged?
It was recovered stolen November 1st.
Okay, November 1st it was stolen, and that you still haven't gotten anything from your insurance company.
Correct. Like, they keep on telling me, like, hey, you know, we're on it, we're gonna clean it.
Okay, here's what I hope you will do. I hope you will drop State Farm because they're a bad company to begin with. I mean, really, why would you even have a bad company? And now you can confirm it. Who is your agent?
You know, every single time I talk to somebody, the last person I talked to was Susan.
Do you have an agent? Do you have an agency?
Tony Gonzalez out in Fort Morgan.
And how did you find Tony Gonzalez?
That's where I grew up. And I grew up in Wigan, so
right. That's what they do. And your family probably did business with them for years, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you want us to call Tony? I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. Have you called Tony Gonzalez and said, get me some help?
I have, actually.
And what does he say?
He told me, you know what he told me? He told me it was my fault because I took my vehicle to a facility that was not approved by State Farm.
Did he actually say that?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you, are you, what are you, on a cell phone?
Yes.
Do you know how to conference call?
No, I don't.
Okay. You should call him right now, right this minute, and tell him to listen to the radio.
Okay.
I want you to. Hold on. I'm going to hold for you. Okay? Now, do you have another phone you can make a call on, or do you want to hang up and then we'll give you a call back?
Let's do that, actually.
All right, hold on. Suzanne, get his number. We'll call him right back. I want him to call Tony Gonzalez right now and say, listen, man, I need your help. Don't tell me it's my fault. Listen to the radio. Then I want to follow up with a call to Tony Gonzalez after he does. But Rudy, I want you to ask Tony Gonzalez to come on the radio with us and tell us it's your fault because you didn't go to an approved shop. That is a bunch of crap. That is a bunch of garbage. Mary, what's happening with you? Another insurance problem. What company is this, or is it not a company problem?
Hello?
Yeah, Mary, do you have a problem with the insurance company or with the accident or with the body shop or what?
I'm having problems with an insurance company.
Who's the company?
Geico.
Oh, that's unusual. We usually don't get a lot of complaints with them. So tell me what's going on with them.
Okay, well, I was hit in an accident.
Okay, then
and
what?
The insurer was insured by Geico.
Okay, that's the other party. Got it.
That's the other party, and he was ticketed.
Okay.
They finally admitted liability. I took the car up to Abra, and he damaged the passenger rear door so badly that you can't even open the door.
All right, so where's the problem, though?
The problem is they say the car is totaled. It is a 2005 Mazda 3 because it's too expensive to fix. Here's my problem. They're giving me two options. I can either take $3,333 and walk away from the car, or I can take $2,565 and take the car.
I understand, and
the estimate, Tom, is for $2,900. They aren't willing to pay $431 more to fix my car.
No, of course they're not. But listen, they don't have to. And actually, they have company policies that when you approach a certain amount, they're not allowed to. So, and there's another reason they don't want to do it: liability. But Mary, people never agree with settlements on their cars because they think.
I agree.
Okay, so here's what you have to deal with. You have to deal with the $3,300. Is that fair? The $2,500. Is that fair? If you bought it, if you get $2,500, right?
Okay.
And you get the car, why don't you get it fixed? You'll be out of pocket $400 and something. Why don't you do it? Or maybe we can goose them up a little. I don't know. It doesn't sound too unfair to me. Those numbers kind of make sense based on the repair bill. If the repair bill is $2,900, is that what it is?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit over that, but yes.
So if you do the math, the $2,900, it makes sense to me that you could get this car and get it fixed.
Right, and that's probably what I'll do. but I was concerned that
What is the concern? Because I don't think they're treating you badly.
Okay, no. If that's what you,
I don't think so.
I've never been in an accident before.
Listen,
so I don't know how this works.
They're not. This is how you evaluate it. What are they actually selling for? You know, Mark has become what I call somewhat of an expert at this because he fought it, and I watched him, and he did a great job doing it. So if you take the 3333, the 3333, and you subtract, what was the actual repair cost? 28 or 29?
29.60. No, 29.96.
So it's $3,000, right?
Right.
Okay. So now what you end up with a difference of $333. Okay.
Okay.
Now technically, the way the math should work is you take the repair cost, subtract it from what they were willing to pay you, and the salvage value should only be what that difference is, which is $333. And they're giving you a little less on the $2,500, because if you take the $2,500 and add back in the $2,565 and add back in the $333, you're up around $28. I think they're about $200 or $300 off. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
And you can use that to reason with them. You can say, look, the repair cost $2,900. If you subtract that or 3,000, I mean. So you have a difference of $330 basically.
You got to make sure that's what they're selling for too, though. Yeah. I mean, you got to do some due diligence.
You have to make sure that the number, the 3333, is accurate to begin with. But Mary, I don't think we need to get involved right now. We will get involved if you get frustrated, but I would take it from there. And then call us back. It's not outrageous, in my opinion, for that 05. Or, yeah, the 05 Mazda 3. We have another guest today, Dr. Christopher Centeno. Dr. Chris Centeno credits himself, I think, as being the first doctor to use stem cell in a clinic setting. Is that true? Were you the first stem cell in a clinic?
Yeah, to treat common orthopedic conditions,
really?
Yes.
Okay, so before that, where were stem cells being used?
Not clinically.
Well, how did you find out about it? I mean, you didn't wake up one day and think, I'm gonna inject someone with stem cells. What happened?
Yeah, you know, I actually reached out to some researchers at CSU who were doing this.
So you've been reading about stem cells, and you reached out to some researchers and said what?
They had been doing it in athletic courses.
Yeah.
And basically got together with them, and we were able to translate that technology to humans.
And you actually started doing it in Broomfield?
Yeah.
Just so you were the first. And what results did you get?
You know, initially very good in joints. Our focus at that time was low backs and spines. That took a couple years to figure out. But the initial stuff was joints.
And how did you get the living stem cells?
At that time and still, we went to the patient's own bone marrow.
Right. Bone marrow. Because you can't extract stem cells and send them through the mail or ship them, can you?
No, that's not legal right now.
No, it's not, because you would have to manipulate them in such a way that it would be considered a drug.
Correct.
So these clinics that have amniotic fluid shipped in, what are they getting? What are people getting?
Dead tissue. There's no living cells.
Are there growth factors in it?
There's some growth factors, kind of like your own, like the platelets in your own blood.
So it would be akin to like PRP therapy?
Yeah.
If people want to look that up. But it's not stem cell therapy.
No, it's definitely not stem cell therapy. Never was, never will be, because if it were, it would be an illegal drug and pulled off the market.
303-713-TALK. I said our theme today is saving money. I told you about LED front range lighting. I told you about buyandbuild.net. Simply Floors is another one. Oh my goodness. If you go to the showroom at 52nd and Ward, you'll see the selection, or you can call, you go online and make your own appointment. They'll come to you. They have designer services and savings right out of the gate, savings up to 40% over the big box stores. So you have person-to-person service, and you save a ton of money. And they have everything from the hardwoods, laminates, luxury vinyl tile, action traction carpeting, which is waterproof, great for pets. They have all kinds of floor coverings. Here's the message. 40% savings right out of the gate, sometimes even saving 50%, and then design services thrown in. You make your own appointments at Simply Floors Inc., that's I-N-C, simplyfloorsinc.com, simplyfloorsinc.com.
still moving?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't yet. Why?
Don't say anything about it. He just emailed me.
I never said it.
Neither have I, so it's got to be someone else.
Hey, Tom, that lady that had her car at Opera, had a what, sir? That lady just called that married. The other expense the insurance company would have would be rental cars, which was the other reason they would have, that expense. But those Opera auto bodies, they're really good at working with the customer when they sell out of their own pocket. They would have put a used door and fixed that car for money. Who? Opera's auto bodies. They're kind of preferred insurance. They're good. They're good. They will bend over backwards fixing these cars for the money they have.
Put you in a better position than you were in before.
I don't know. I mean, they would have found a used door and done it for $400 less. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. We'll tell her that.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I've worked with them for a long time. I was an adjuster for 16 years.
Of course you were. Did you see my text when I was on vacation?
No.
You were in on the text about the success you were having.
Oh, yeah.
The next 2 years.
Christian Brothers, I told you they were going to pay us.
I went after the owner.
Now tell me what's
That
happening.
guy you were talking to is an idiot, in my opinion, man.
That Marty guy?
And I finally said, Marty, I need to talk to your owner, or I'm going to go ape shit out of you. And 2 hours later, I get an email saying it's done.
They're going to make a real full $8,000 refund.
They already did.
Okay.
It's over.
Tell me what follow-ups we can do and when we can do them, please.
That's a good one.
Tell me how to work this, guys. Tell me what.
There's a slider on it.
Yeah. Okay, but what is this? On and off? Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. And then, okay, it's that simple. Gotcha.
I got this guy.
You want me to write you down instructions?
Thank you. Do that for me, Mark.
You forgot about yourself. Well, now it's your turn. You need some time to take care of you.
That is so
And I
good
know
they did this
just what
for
you
us.
need.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool, too, isn't it? They're each independent.
I love them.
Look how even the light is.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And on the video, it looks really good. In fact, it looks brighter on here than it actually is.
So what? How much time do that camera there would be yellow?
Therapy, hair and scalp.
Would be yellow and stuff. So now it's much clearer and stuff. It's not.
And I get so many compliments on it. The best part is that it's so easy to use. So what are you waiting for? Go to ovationhair.com and new customers get a special introductory discount when you select Talk Radio 630K at checkout. You can't lose.
So what is the
Guaranteed
video
or your
show?
money back.
Facebook
That's
page?
Ovation
Facebook, YouTube, and then on our TroubleshooterNetwork.com.
You won't regret it. It really works.
Hi, it's Jake Logan. You know, you've heard me talk about Willow Creek Dental and their phenomenal standard of care called the Willow Creek Way. Well, the Willow Creek
Well,
Way
I got to call
customers
Comcast again. They've been
from the first
monitoring
from
it.
the instant you walk in the door to the moment you leave, you're going to be treated phenomenally.
Did you
well.
send me that email?
Highest quality
No,
care.
not yet.
So,
Okay.
YouTube is fine. Facebook.
Willow Creek Dental in Lone Tree, or go to willowcreekway.com to find an incredible independent dentist.
You want the stream key is what you want.
You know what? I don't think I can. I was going to put it in here for this one guy, but now that I think about it, I think if I post it in there, it's going to do some weird thing. Don't you think?
Okay, I don't. You're talking to me. So you want the streaming key or just the
No,
address?
I don't want it.
Oh, okay.
I'm afraid if I post it in here, it's going to do something weird. Now I can't find the damn.
Troubleshooter Network. There it is, right there.
Yeah, but I had a.
So absolute radon basically is not using much.
Are they on now? Are they on today?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
I put. If you go, I got bullet points in there.
Where are they, Mark? Where are they?
Under. It's not just under the regular spots.
Okay, I go to radio commercials, the folder.
And they should be right under there.
Okay, got it. Got
You see it?
Yeah, I'm going to copy over to my format, though. That's great.
No, but I just dumped them in there to have them.
Oh, yeah. Good. Thank you. Yep, got it.
And then watch out on One Clear Choice. I updated the pricing and the model number on the special. You've been saying $85.50 for $299 so long. It's different. I'm just giving you
Okay. Did you go in and did you actually go in and change my copy?
I just changed the model number and the price.
Okay.
The rest of the copies
You
is
did it in my copy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
We'll pick it up and give you your money back.
It's 333 now. That's a different model number, but it's the same. It's virtually the same thing.
Okay.
Haven't filed your taxes in years? Get your peace of mind back. Go to advancedtaxsolutions.com.
Shop happy today at 1, Glenn Beck tonight at 7. Only on Denver Stock Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Dr. Kent Lawson is with us, the new orthodontics, and he's having a seminar tonight, 303-690-0400 if you want to sign up and find out about how your children can get straight teeth, sometimes, many times, half the time without braces, depending on the case. And it's the new orthodontics, without surgeries or extractions. It's a wonderful method. So call this number to find out about it, 303-690-0400. And remember, the whole theme today is saving money. We told you about LED front range lighting. You should call them and get half off the installation plus rebates and financing that'll get you saving out the door. Buyandbuild.net, Simply Floors. All of these are so wonderful. All of them. And then, of course, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. They have free test drives, Colorado Tinnitus Hearing Centers. If you have a hearing problem or tinnitus, free test drive. You don't pay anything. There's no obligation. You can pick the one that works for you. And they've pioneered tinnitus. Have you ever, Dr. Centeno, has stem cells ever been used for hearing problems or in the skull for anything like that? Any nerves or things like that?
You know, there's some basic science research, but
nothing yet?
Nothing clinical.
How about arthritis? Regular arthritis, just regular rheumatoid arthritis. Does it help?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it one of the more successful modalities for that?
We tend to treat more osteoarthritis than rheumatoid arthritis.
And what's the difference?
The difference is rheumatoid arthritis is more of this inflammatory.
It's systemic.
Can be systemic type thing, usually treated with big-time drugs.
Yeah.
Osteoarthritis is the arthritis we all get as we get older.
In one joint or two or more?
Yeah, one or more joints.
Well, by the way, Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center for that free test drive or an evaluation on tinnitus or hearing loss, 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. Christy has a question about stem cells. Go ahead, Christy. What's going on?
I do. I just wonder if stem cells have ever been used to treat cancer.
That's an interesting question, since it does it has growth factors. I'm wondering, could it actually be contrary
or worse?
Make it worse? I don't know.
Yeah, that would be the concern, Christy. There's a number of different animal studies that show that if you inject stem cells or put growth factors near tumors, you can make the tumor bigger. So while there may be, having said that, there's some newer stuff where they're using stem cells as like a Trojan horse to deliver a virus that would kill the tumor. Now that's super advanced stuff, but if someone's telling you that they can use stem cells to treat cancer, it's probably not accurate at this point.
No, I just wondered, we have a family member that actually is dying from cancer.
What form of cancer?
Bladder.
Yeah.
It actually started in the kidneys, but it had metastasized, so he was on a couple of trials that actually killed the old tumors, but new ones would grow. So in looking for the third trial, they decided to do kind of a heavy dose of chemo, and that's just about finished him off. So I don't think he's well enough to, wait for any other kind of trial or even undergo any more chemo. So it's just really sad, and I was just wondering if, hopefully, I think stem cells are the, the wave of the future.
Right, but when you think of stem cells, I mean, the sheer nature of stem cells, they actually mimic and grow cells, and that's really what cancer does. I mean, cancer actually...
Wouldn't it mimic the cancer cell itself?
I don't know. Would it, Dr. Centeno? Would it? It could multiply the cancer.
Yeah, that's the idea. Is you can get that type of effect.
More and more research is showing that cancer cells. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with a cancer cell. It's just not. It just forgot where it is. So, the kidney cells, for example, or in this case, a bladder cells, they're held together and they're signaled to be bladders. To be a bladder. I mean, all cells come from stem cells, and then they go into their various functions. That's why stem cells are so wonderful, because they started everything. They're the original cells that start everything. So when they get near another cell, they mimic it. Cancer does just the opposite. Cancer forgets where it is and starts growing. It's doing what a cell should do, and it does it very well. Actually, cancer is a very healthy cell generator. It's a wonderful cell generator. It's so wonderful that it overtakes the body and kills it because it just does what it's supposed to do. So there's some new research, and they feel if they can signal the cells, instead of killing them, they signal them and say, hey, cancer cell, you belong in the bladder, and we don't need all of you. And just tell it what it's supposed to be. It's kind of like an orchestra. When one of the people go out and start playing on their own, one of the violinists start playing on their own, they could be playing beautiful music, but it doesn't fit with the orchestra, so it ruins the whole thing. So some of the newer research, Christy, is starting to concentrate on the cell signaling as opposed to the killing. And really, that's what stem cells do, is they mimic. Isn't that really what they do? They mimic?
It's one of the ways they work. They can also act as construction managers.
In what way?
Signaling other cells, almost like a general contractor and subcontractors.
We have Dr. Kent Lawson here. Has it ever been used in dentistry at all, stem cells? They have? Yeah. In what way? Do you know anything about it, Dr. Lawson?
Well, dentists were the first ones to use PRP.
Oh, really? Where did they use PRP, platelet-rich plasma, to regrow gums and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard about any of that?
Well, yes, the big thing that we deal with is, first of all, most dental malocclusions are from an underdevelopment of the upper jaw. Okay.
With crooked teeth malocclusions.
Right. Crooked teeth, overbites, underbites, all of that is because of an upper jaw that's underdeveloped. Well, we know that there are stem cells that are within what we call the mid-palatal suture. And when we expand properly, and that's slow palatal expansion, those stem cells are activated and we get new bone formation in that area.
And see, you proved through your research, you were one of the first to do this, they were telling you you can't take an adult palate and expand it, right?
That's correct.
Because they said it's already formed.
It's the biggest lie in orthodontics.
And you've proven that an adult palate, without being cracked open and stretched apart with machinery like they do in surgery, that it could be done naturally, and what your body is actually doing is forming new bone.
That's correct.
And that's where the stem cells
That's correct. And if you expand too fast or do surgery, then where you expand too fast, then you get cartilage that fills in that area instead of bone, and it becomes very unstable.
I'm wondering if in the future they use stem cells as kind of an augmentation to augment the palate expansion to make it stronger.
but those sutures already have stem cells. That's been proven.
Cool. 303-713-TALK. Kate, what's going on with you, Kate?
Hi, yes, sir. Thank you so much for taking my call.
What's going on?
I'm calling because I received in the mail a lease agreement for oil and gas minerals.
Yes.
And honestly, Mr. Martino, I don't know anything about that, and it's quite lengthy.
I have a lot of oil and gas minerals. And yes, I would have said, fortunately, I have a lot, except it's not fortunate right now because of oil prices. But I can talk to you about that. You hold on. We'll talk about what to do with that. You have a number of different ways to go with these contracts. Some of them are to lease your rights. Some of them actually make you part of the operation. They're very complicated, but not too hard to sift through. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, we get a bunch of emails when we have guests on. Centeno Schultz Clinic is Dr. Chris Centeno. He also has a clinic called Regenix. If you need to get in touch with them, it's 303-963-9201 when they're not here. 303-963-9201.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic.
No major problems on the Highway Drive in the metro area. Not bad for Monday. I-25 and I-70 up to speed through the heart of the city. No problems on the turnpike this morning. 270's in great shape. Earlier lane on westbound. You're at Bassett. Cleared out of the way. 225 is looking good in Aurora. No problems on 6th Avenue in Lakewood. There's a smooth flow both directions.
You know, it's almost magical what you're doing.
What tonight, decreasing clouds overnight to the low of 36.
Well, it's the wave of the future. Yeah. I mean, it's the future of orthodontics. No question about it.
Orthodontics are very resistant, though. They want to see the kid 11 or 12, and it's really crazy.
You can post a job in minutes and manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job.
So you should be at it.
Indeed.com.
That's the right address.
Mortgage loan. This allows you to take out cash at lower rates and
So I got a question for you, Dr. John. I don't have a lot of, I have no feeling in my left foot because of back surgeries. That's enough. I've had 6 of them. But anyway, over the weekend, I had a nail, saw the corner of my heel. Rookie nail got into this bar.
What? Holy crap.
Did you step on it? Or?
Yeah, I stepped on it. But then did you keep stepping on it? How did it,
like walking with it and the nail was...
Well, why were you walking with it? You couldn't feel it? Oh, because you can't feel it. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Wow. When this happened to me 8 years ago, I couldn't get my shoe
off. You literally had a nail in, and you were walking in it, doing more and more
damn new roofing nails.
How did you figure it out?
So they have a green disc on them now. It's not for the roofing, but it's for the underlayment. They have a green plastic washer.
Right, I know.
The damn things are stainless steel. They sit in the lawn. You can't see them because they're green. And
no, but how did you figure out you had it in your foot?
Like when I took my shoe off, my sock was soaked in blood.
You and your family can't lose another precious.
Anyway, this happened to me 8 years ago. Last time we had hail, I did the same damn thing, stepped on a roofing nail. It took me 13 months, soft cast, hard cast to get, because the bottom of your heel gets the least blood supply of anything in your body. It's one of the hardest things to heal.
You've got this on right now. You just had this happen recently.
This was 8 o'clock this morning.
8 o'clock this morning.
Wait, that's when you got the nail?
No, that's when I got the cast. I got the nail yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was a stainless steel nail, and it says it won't. Anyway, because that's a hard to heal place, and it's a blood supply problem, stem cells would help with a wound like that, would they? Because of the...
I mean, PRP would work well.
PRP would work.
Yeah. So just platelet plasma injection to get the blood supply.
Okay.
Increase.
What's PRP stand for?
Platelet-rich plasma. So one of the growth factors in PRP is called VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor, and that creates new blood vessels.
Okay.
So it sounds like you're going to try to heal.
Yeah, but this took 13 months last time.
Yeah, so if it's not healing within the next week or two, then combine inject some PRP in there and hopefully help it.
Is this something that my doctor did? The doctor I'm on to?
That I don't know.
Oh, I'll have to talk to him if he's familiar with it.
You know, there's an out-of-pocket cost. Obviously, we won't charge you to do it if you want to come up.
Oh, okay. I'm not paying for it. I just heard insurance will probably cover it. I got pretty good insurance.
You know, it just depends.
No, they don't cover that.
Apparently not. Yeah. If it's for chronic wound healing, maybe. You know, i.e., if it was 3, 4, 5, 6 months out, it's not healing, they might cover it.
I'll see what happens here.
But if it took so long to heal, it looks like it's not healing, give it a week or two.
Yeah. Of course, I had so much raggedy stuff. They had trimmed so much off, it looks twice as bad now.
Yeah.
That damn nail is marked. I've got 9 lives. Huh?
God, you're a mess with all
No, I am lucky. I've been struck by lightning, rattlesnake bit a couple times.
Well, you really have no feeling there. Because you can't feel it now. You got no.
No, I got no feeling there at all.
Yeah.
If you sprain your ankle, turn your ankle.
No, they're sitting there today with scissors cutting it off. He says, "Does any of this hurt?" No.
Oh my God!
Well, you didn't need any numbing shots.
No, I didn't need any.
Yeah. Same any numbing shots.
But that's why we have feeling to protect ourselves.
We do. You're right. It seems why.
When this happened 8 years ago, the nail was right in the middle, and I went to pull my shoe off. It wouldn't come off.
Oh my God! She could be a firewalker.
Nailed into the.
You know, we're talking health today with Dr. Chris Centeno, stem cell. He's with Centeno Schultz.
.com, and we were talking about these stem cell clinics that talk about using living stem cells, and they're actually not using them at all. They use amniotic fluid. I'm going to just cut it short and say this: if a clinic does not harvest from your blood, from your marrow, or from your fat cells, you're not getting living stem cells, period. You're not. You're just not. And these seminars that are telling people they're getting stem cell therapy, they're lying to you. They're not giving you stem cell therapy. And speaking of health, we have a sponsor here, Absolute Radon, that does radon testing and mitigation for your home. They have a test that just takes a few days in your home, and these little trays like that are set out, and they read the results and make recommendations. And do you know that radon is estimated to cause cancer, the second leading cause of lung cancer? Also, in Colorado, the Department of Health estimates that around half the houses have dangerous levels. Now, we love this company, Absolute Radon. They did a bunch of tests for us free so people could see what they had in their homes, and found a lot of those people found to have dangerous levels. Now, these people will be honest with you. They're not going to hype it. They're not going to scare you. You should call and get a test done. And if you need mitigation, it's not that expensive, usually under $1,000. So it's nothing to be afraid of, especially if you're selling your house or if you're buying one. Here's the test to call. Call to get a test. 303-880-0682. 303-880-0682. It's Absolute Radon, and they're on a referral list at referralist.com. 880-0682. Okay, now Kate wanted to talk about minerals. Now, Kate, how much land do you have?
Let's see, it's not very large. It's like a residential lot. We're on the corner, so...
okay, this is called pooling, okay? You're in a residential subdivision, a regular neighborhood, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and what they're doing is they're sending this out to the neighbors because they need to get you under contract for them to start drilling. Now, what are they saying? Are they saying you have the rights and they want to lease them? What are they actually offering to do?
Sure, let me just read this little bit here to you. So it says, Mid-Continent Energy of Littleton, Colorado has determined that you own the mineral estate under your residence or lot in Commerce City, Colorado. $2,500 lease bonus per net mineral acre. Then it says bonus price, and then it says 18 3/4, so 18.75% royalty for a 3-year primary term, with the option to extend the lease for an additional 2 years.
Nothing wrong with that, Kate. Those prices are quite generous.
Okay.
Now, you just have to decide if you want to do it. And I don't think they can do it unless they get the majority or most of you anyway. And they're not asking for surface rights, they're just asking for mineral rights.
Well, here's why. Yes, sir. I believe that to be the case. Now, according to this, it says, hold on just a second. I apologize. There's about 6 pages here, so... but it does say here that this is a non-surface occupancy lease.
Right.
No drilling or production equipment will be permitted on your property. However, if they send a W-9 and a bunch of other things with
of course
that,
they do. Of course
behind
they do.
it, the lease agreement does talk about drilling and so forth. So I guess that's where I'm confused.
Well,
is it not?
It's not for surface. They're going to drill. They're going to go diagonally or horizontally. They're going to get the minerals somehow, but they're just not going to disturb your property. And this is all, the county's not going to let them just put drills anywhere. These are tightly regulated. I think people, in my opinion, get too out of shape about these things. First of all, they think they can hold them over a barrel for prices. Hey, why can't I get half or this or that? It's ridiculous. From what I know, this is a very high percentage of royalty, a share, 18%, 18 3/4. The mineral, the bonus price is a little low. I usually get around $6,500 an acre for the bonus. However, my share is way less. So when you have this in balance, it doesn't look bad. I'm saying it's not a high-risk proposition. You have nothing to lose. That's what I'm saying. So you just have to, if you want an attorney to go through it, fine. It'll cost you a lot of money. It's not a big deal, especially when the surface is not involved and you're in a residential neighborhood. They can't come in and disrupt a residential neighborhood. We have a lot more to talk about on the Troubleshooter Show. Stick around with your questions, problems, complaints. We'll get to all of you. 303-713-TALK.
Have you ever wanted to
refinance your mortgage, but
that's an extraordinary 18%.
Remember, we're off next
Monday.
He just said
that's an extraordinary. That's the thing about it.
So what are they doing?
Well, it depends on what they take.
So what are they doing there? How are they getting the minerals off of her property?
They go diagonally or horizontally. You were in that business, right, Dan?
They just don't care.
You say 18%. That's not some places in Louisiana, they get 22, 23%.
Yeah, but we're talking about a residential neighborhood.
Right. And as far as for leased acreage and stuff, there's people in Rockies.
It's not going to be that much money no matter how you look at it.
In that layer, there used to be, you could have
Nothing to lose,
a little bit in that layer.
And they don't negotiate those percentages.
Oh, absolutely they do.
Yeah,
if you're majority older, absolutely.
Yes, of course, but Dan, we're talking about her.
Yes.
This
She would have no input.
No, none at all.
Right.
But yeah, if you have a big piece of land, Jesus, of course you can.
Yeah.
I have 1,000
I'm curious
acres.
how she got the mineral.
Because they were lazy and they just the developers.
I was just offered $6,500 an acre, plus royalties on some of my undeveloped stuff.
The American dream.
I got like 1,000 acres and just dropped in my lap. I didn't realize this. I have about 100,000 undeveloped acres.
Wow.
In my leases.
Wow.
Because I bought tracts of these royalty streams. And here's what I don't understand, Dan. Why are we getting petitions for new wells with the prices the way they are?
Well, the prices are going up, $61 a barrel.
Yeah, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me tell you, they've dropped. Back in the day when it went down, they were losing money at 61. But now they've got so
dropped their
efficient.
cost, right?
Right. Their
My
operations
basis,
they can make money at 40 in many
my
places.
basis was around.
Fracking, correct.
Yeah.
And but the whole drilling, everything is so efficient.
It's so efficient.
I would love to unload all of them. God, I wish oil went up just for long enough.
Fracturing like 10, 20 feet. Now they're fracturing 2 miles on the whole.
I have no idea what fracking is.
10,000.
Is fracking where they force water in?
Water and then sand in there.
And then everything else comes out?
Well, they force water in there or carry sand, and then when it closes,
when we say in there, into the rock?
Yes, they break the rock. Actually, cracks the rock.
Water and shampoo.
Water and sand goes in there. Then when it closes, the sand keeps it open. Otherwise, it could just collapse and no good. But
the sand then gets moist with oil?
No, the sand keeps the fracture open and now the oil comes out. Now the fluids come out.
Now they're using
and how do they collect it? Is it a pipe?
It goes down in the casing, correct.
Okay, so for line 2, this is her deal. Her whole family's diabetic, they've died from diabetes, she can't get sugar-free cappuccinos in most gas stations. She and her husband, but it gets better.
Welcome back.
She and her husband want to get sugar-free cappuccinos into most gas stations, but she's on disability and doesn't want to make too much where she loses her disability.
Oh, she wants to do that as a business.
So,
she has disability, but yet she can afford cappuccino machines.
Well, profit. I mean, the ceramic looks like it's perfectly round.
And let's just cut right to it. Who the fuck buys sugar-free cappuccino from a gas station?
Who buys cappuccino from the gas station?
Who buys roller?
Well, roller food's okay.
So guys,
it was invented there.
Mark,
the dialogue or something that
is Ideal calling in or not?
Saying this in that fracking.
They are.
A lot of just like say it's surfactant. It's like
soap.
He
says it's active ingredient shampoo.
Right. Surfactant.
Yeah.
Just like say it's soap.
They make a big deal about these fracking fluids.
No, there's
membership start at $9.99 a month plus
a lot of times that's on oil wells.
Now get 10% off.
These are oil wells.
LifeLock.com.
Well, I know from oil wells when you're trying to
that's
run
promo
diesel and stuff down those even diesel down.
Right.
If something in the crude oil is going to come back.
Right. It's but the stuff when it comes on back.
What is this things going on with Steve Bannon, by the way? What's going on with Steve Bannon?
Oh, he wrote the book.
Oh, the book came out. Yeah, he's selling the book. And what is it? Is it bad?
Make the White House to be.
Did he make?
He's like a liberal.
Did he make?
Well, he says it's all not true. But
did he make what you call look bad? Trump boss man.
Brett Iverson, Ideal Home Loans. Let's talk about how you can
Yes,
help.
he did. So it's mostly saying there's a lot of infighting, but
was it anything that we didn't know about him?
huh?
oh yeah, I think so. I think they.
Like, did he?
Well, quotes from him and stuff.
Oh, interest paid on a second is no longer deductible. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Under the new
second
Plus this is Brett needs to talk about that. They need to, people that have a second HELOC have to refi and basically pay off that HELOC so they can take advantage of the interest.
Right.
HELOCs you can no longer write off the.
Now, do you know there was some kind of Mark?
Can't you up to 10,000?
There was some kind of restriction on seconds.
700. Well,
not seconds. On refis.
750. It's not going to affect
No,
99%.
On a refi?
Yeah.
If it's been paid off, though, then you take money out. There was some kind of restriction. I don't know if it was $750. To me, it seemed less than that.
It used to be $1 million. Now it's $750.
Do you guys see the 529 private school thing?
What about that?
They now use
Originally,
529.
they wanted 500.
Oh, yeah. 529.
Oh, really?
Private school tuition out the next day and have it be tax deductible against your Colorado state taxes.
Teachers use fighting that thing tooth and nail.
Why? Oh, of course they. Well, teachers teach in private schools too, for God's sake.
But you just put your money,
Yeah, but it's not
put
as
your
posh
tuition
and
in there
lush.
per day, pull it out the next day, it becomes tax deductible.
Because it was in the 529.
Because they
Okay,
extended
hold
the
on.
529 plan
This is
beyond
for
college.
college.
No, they extended it to private school.
So I can send my kids to private school on it, and tell me what I do? I'm serious.
You just do a
Your tuition's
529
10 grand.
college.
You put your 10 grand
My
in your
kids are
529.
14,000.
14. You put your 14 in your 529, you pull it out the next day, that 14 is now deductible against your Colorado state tax.
Colorado.
All your hard work is indeed.
So I can do it for.
Just Colorado, he's saying.
Yeah.
But I have to put their tuition in a 529.
Yeah, but then you
Do
can
I have a
Yank it
limit?
right out.
Do I have a limit on 529?
I think there's no limit. So
Is there a limit to how much you can put in?
I don't think so in Colorado.
I don't think so.
So it's a good deal. It's part of this
Really
new
good deal.
tax reform Trump thing.
So it didn't go through yet, right?
No, it did.
It's all done.
So I can send my kids to private school, not college, just private school, on a 529.
And deduct it from your Colorado state income tax.
But federal has no effect on that.
Well,
The earnings.
I don't think it ever has.
No, it hasn't. But Trump did.
No, but the earnings are tax deductible. Are free of tax, right?
The Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This hour brought to you by Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used car, truck, or SUV or van, they're ready for the new year. They have a whole new stock. In fact, their stock turns every 3, 4, 5 days because they buy so many cars and sell them. They own them. That means they can sell them for what they want. You'll find plenty of selection, not just with cars, but with lenders as well. That's right, 40 lenders to choose from. Plus, you have product price, and the process is seamless. You just go in, ride around in a golf cart if you want. They have what you want. You get a Carfax with every car. It was family founded and operated since 1982. Rockies, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. 303-426-4646. 303-426-4646. Okay, so let's go and talk about problems you may have. And we'll, Michelle, this is an unusual problem. Doesn't sound like a big problem, but go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, and I appreciate that. I am using my little sister's name who died a few years back out of diabetes. And my concern is that my whole family now, every generation in my family has diabetes.
Now, are you talking about type 2?
Most of us have type 2. My sister had type 1, my grandparents had type 1, and my father has type 2, but it's going to type 1 right now.
That's weird. So his pancreas is actually failing.
Yes. And he's already had pancreatic cancer, and now it's coming back, so they are saying surgery won't help him at all. And so the diabetes is awful, and the only thing that is diabetic, and knowing I've been hypoglycemic forever, so I know that I'm using up my pancreatic juices faster, so I have a precursor to diabetes. And like I said, it skips. It does not skip any generation, and every cousin has it that I know.
Well, Michelle, listen, as far as the diabetes, we don't have to discuss that right now because I'll tell you why. Type 1 and type 2 are so far apart. They really aren't even related. But let's not get into that. Let's get into how this is affecting you.
Well, because of the sugar watch that we all do, and because of, I guess, society does also to keep your figure thin. When I go into a service station or a gas station, I go in to grab coffee. I always would love to have a cappuccino. Go to the cappuccino machine, and they're all sugar. The only gas station I've ever been in Colorado is Valero, and they're the only ones that have one option of sugar-free cappuccino. I know it sounds silly, and
well, you can always buy coffee and put sweet low in it, you know.
Yeah,
that's still gonna make you use some insulin.
Yeah, but
you know,
it's really
I want that.
It really that
caramel.
Absolutely not. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you said yes. Now cite your source on that. That sweet and low will trigger insulin.
Well, it's bigger than that.
Well,
I mean, caffeine is a no-no.
That's right. Caffeine we're talking about, not the sweet.
Caffeine in general is a no-no if you have type 2 diabetes.
Right.
It will
Caffeine
dramatically mess with your blood sugar.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
As will all artificial sweeteners.
Artificial sweeteners, I will guarantee you, we'll do a test. I will take artificial sweeteners and I'll bet you $1,000. You set up the glucose monitoring, and I will do artificial sweeteners every 15 minutes, and I will guarantee you that my blood sugar doesn't go up.
Well, Tom, it's a little bit more complex. It actually has to do with the brain level.
Right.
And in addition to that, you got to realize that you also have to have the genetic phenotype.
But my sugar will not go up.
Again, it's more complex.
Right.
However,
well,
if I drink
if you're taking a level of blood sugar, it's not going to go up. Therefore, it's not going to spike your insulin. But we're not getting into this discussion right now. Go ahead, Michelle.
Right. Well, I was a police officer for 22 years.
So what do you want to do? Yeah, you can't get sugar-free cappuccino. So what should we do about that?
I want to know. I really want to know why there's only one service station that has that when
because there's no money in it.
I think Mark hit it on the head. I don't think people care. I mean, you know, I don't even know those cappuccino makers. And did you hear what this doctor said about caffeine in general? If you're on a sugar watch, you actually should be on a caffeine watch too for that.
I am, and Doc, and you, Tom. I was a cop for 22 years. Almost over that, and you live with coffee.
Okay. So you love coffee. I'm not going to fault you on it if you love coffee.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever just tried just carrying? Well, they don't have it. They don't have no sugar at all. You can't just artificially sweeten it because you're saying there's no option for that. I don't know what to tell you, Michelle. So what were you thinking?
I guess I just was bitching about it.
I don't blame you. I mean, if that's important to you, I mean, I don't know what to tell her. Mark, what would you say? There are no sugar-free cappuccino machines in the gas stations.
I'd give her a tissue.
Michelle, I don't mean to make fun of you. Seriously, I don't.
There's not going to be any money.
I don't know
if there was money in it, they'd have them there.
Yeah, I don't think it's commercially viable. I really don't. Do you know that Starbucks even discontinued some of their sugar-free syrups because people aren't ordering them? I don't think people care that much.
Because they're just as bad for you.
Well, they're not just as bad as sugar, Mark. They're just not. I mean, you can.
I agree. They're not as bad.
But they're not good for you. Okay, no one can say they're good for you. Oh, by the way, stevia is not bad for you, though. Now, stevia is a really good alternative. It really isn't bad for you. And some of the alcohol sugars, you shouldn't have too much of, but they're not terrible either. But they cause terrible gastrointestinal stuff. Well, I don't know why, but they do. Alcohol sugar.
Yeah, sugar alcohols. I mean, they cause a lot of gas.
Right.
They probably affect your microbiome, meaning the bacteria in your gut.
Probably can.
Which is also screwing lots of things up.
I've never understood how there's no carbs in alcohol. How is that? Like Jack Daniels has no carbs. How is that possible?
I don't know. You would think because of the alcohol sugars. For some reason, alcohol sugars don't register. They don't register, but I don't know. I just never could figure that out either. Why don't they have carbs? I know a guy that was on a low-carb diet, and he drank like a fish, and he lost weight. But he can't be healthy. I mean, I mean, you know, first of all, you said caffeine's bad for type 2 or is just not good for you in general. We all know that. I mean, I love caffeine, and I know it's not good for you. But what about alcohol? Alcohol, there's such a controversy about alcohol. Some people say, you know, wine, there's nothing wrong with a glass of wine occasionally or this or that. What about alcohol? What is it? Does it, for example, in your business, doesn't it hurt you when you have arthritis? Doesn't it inflame? Isn't it an inflammatory thing or not?
Yeah, well, there was just a big study last week on stem cells and alcohol. It damages stem cells pretty quickly.
It does?
It does.
Wow.
But having said that, listen, have a glass of wine.
By the way, this is Dr. Chris Centeno, I should have said, and he's with Centeno Schultz Clinic. and he's here to talk about stem cells and other things. But so when they have stem cell therapy at your clinic, you tell them not to drink, obviously.
We do. We tell them not to drink, and I know that you're on a fast, and that's actually a good.
Yeah, it's great.
A great thing for
he
stem
and
cells
Suzanne
as well.
they do great things with that. They do that every month. I'm proud of them. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
So so what does it do for stem cells, fasting? Does it trigger stem cell growth?
It seems to help your stem cells act younger than they otherwise normally would.
So we all have stem cells, even after childhood or after infancy.
Correct.
Why?
Because they're the repairmen of your body. If you didn't have stem cells, you'd be dead within a month or two.
So we are actually producing new cells, and that's not theory. It's proven. We're a whole new person about every 7 or 8 years, right?
Correct.
Literally.
Yes, everything gets replaced.
Everything is replaced.
Yes. It's freaky to think about, but true.
Wait. Like your teeth?
Every cell is shed and replaced.
No, your teeth?
Yeah, the whole thing apparently. Your blood is the quickest.
Yeah. Everything.
Every 120 days.
Everything.
Blood
in a microscopic way, you're losing cells and new cells are coming in. You're losing and shedding cells and new ones, including bone, including everything.
It's pretty freaky.
Because we're constantly producing new cells, therefore we need stem cells. And so if we're an alcoholic, it'll actually retard the growth of our new cells or damage them in some way.
And that makes sense. I mean, you've all seen alcoholics who look 10 years older than they really are.
Right.
I mean,
or 30.
Or 30. They don't have those stem cells to constantly replace those damaged cells.
Nicole, speaking of stem cells, you had a comment? Go ahead.
I have a question about stem cells.
Yes.
So my husband had a BMT about 15 years ago. And
what is a BMT?
A bone marrow transplant.
Oh, okay. And did he have leukemia?
He did.
Okay.
He had ALL, but he's had problems since then, problems with the hand. He's had issues with the knee. Can he benefit from this?
Would he be a candidate you would shy away from this because of the growth factors?
Well, you know, Nicole, I guess the good news is that I think that there's no issues with the prior leukemia.
Right.
Oh, really? Okay.
Having said that, not much is known about using stem cells from a bone marrow transplant. But I can't come up with a reason why it wouldn't be something to do. But you just need to recognize that this is obviously a very unusual scenario.
Is bone marrow matched like blood is? So could you theoretically have a donor?
Yeah.
Is it allowed in this state? I mean, if I brought someone who was compatible with me blood-wise, could they donate their stem cells?
A little bit more complex than that, but yes, there are stem cell donors that theoretically could happen, but just realize that once you start taking other people's stem cells, the laws change.
The FDA has something to say about it.
Yes.
So, because that's, again, you're manipulating.
Now, in this scenario, you know, he got a bone marrow transplant.
Right.
He's got other people's stem cells living inside him.
But don't they eventually spark his? I mean, or do they always remain there?
No, there'll be some that remain.
Like, do we still have stem cells from our early childhood, or not? Or are they replaced as well? Right?
No, everything would be replaced.
Right. So his transplant, if it happened years and years ago, there's still some of those cells in there.
He probably would have cells that have the DNA of the person he got the transplant from.
But if it's compatible with him, again, it's not bringing in a donor, so there would nothing legally. There
shouldn't be a problem legally. It shouldn't be a problem medically. But just realize that it's not something that's well studied.
303-713-TALK. Howard, what's happening?
Well, I took my car to a repair shop on Saturday for a wheel bearing.
A wheel bearing? What repair shop?
It's called Alley Automotive, A-L-L-E-Y Automotive.
Alley Automotive. Hey, is there any way we can establish a better communication here? Suzanne, could you explore that? If he has, I don't want to make him crash if he has Bluetooth, but we have to take this quick break, and if you could do that, it would help us. I hope you're not buried in debt from the holidays. Winkandwink.com are there for fresh starts for people who may be unemployed, divorce, a death in the family, whatever it is. If you need help, winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720. They do Chapter 13s and Chapter 7s. I hope you never need them. But if so, it's nice to know they're there, 303-410-1720.
There's a mic on. There's a mic on. Just wait, there's a mic on.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
The highway drive is wide open in the metro area.
Yeah, again, as I was trying to say, if you have the genetic makeup to have type 2 diabetes, then you're going to be more susceptible to that blood sugar effect from lots of things, including caffeine, as well as artificial sweeteners.
Right. Your health in general, if you have that makeup, your health in general would be affected by a lot of things. But what I'm saying is, this misnomer that if you take artificial sweeteners, the sweet taste triggers your pancreas is not true.
I think it's a controversy that is still being worked out.
But I can show, in other words,
we got a couple studies that say yes, we got a couple studies that say no.
They're not saying that it spikes your insulin. They're saying that it's tricking your body into staying addicted, so to speak, to the sugar thing.
Which was the brain effect.
Right. But the actual blood sugar is not being raised.
To crave sugar in a similar way.
Exactly right.
As you would if you had sugar.
And then if you mix it, it multiplies. Like, let's say you do sugar-free,
Can it trick you out of ketosis?
No. But it will trick you. What he's saying, if you took a little bit of sugar after doing artificial sweeteners, it actually amplifies the effect.
And you don't pay
But it doesn't in itself, Mark. It doesn't raise glucose. It just doesn't. I mean, I know that's a popular notion, but it just doesn't happen. It doesn't. It does make you crave sweets, which is strange, because studies have been made that people that use artificial sweeteners actually get fatter.
Yeah.
But it's because of the brain. It's because of what it does to your brain.
Yeah, so what does it do to your brain to make you fat?
I don't know. You got to ask him.
Well, I think listen, when you have sweets, it releases insulin, which then causes you to drop your blood sugar and want more sugar. What Tom's saying is that you still want more sugar, it just doesn't happen.
That's right.
Happens through the brain.
You're not getting it because of insulin.
But where does the weight gain if you're not eating any sugar? Is what
because when people get sugar lows, they eat more.
Well, I think that eating more, their appetite goes up.
So they're eating more.
It increases their appetite.
An MD Anderson trained.
I'd be curious if it does change your level of ketosis.
Well, here's the deal.
Let's say 3 days into my fast with nothing, and I shovel down Splenda left and right. I think it affects me big time.
Well, it's not good for you.
I think it would affect me in numerous ways.
Yeah, I think it's going to hit your brain.
But it won't take you out of ketosis. It just won't. I mean, I know. Just try it. I swear to you, it doesn't, because I've done it. I mean, I've literally done it when I would do the test strips.
And I was talking to Suzanne. There's something called Prolon, Prolon, which was made by the guys at USC that did the original fasting research. And it's a little kit that you get for these fasts, like a 5-day fast. And they say it's just a lot easier.
What does it do?
It's like a 500-calorie 5-day fast. They've got little bars, they got little teas, they've got supplements to take. Apparently, it supposedly makes it easier.
I find that all fake.
And listen, if you can do it cold turkey, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
30 days.
We that book, man, that guy in the beginning did it for 30. Now, see, to me, even bone broth, I mean, you're taking calories in.
Yeah.
To me, if you take the calories in,
Is bone broth count?
Of course it has calories.
As long as, though, Mark, the benefits, though, if you can keep your body in the repair and maintenance mode.
That's right. But when you take calories in, it's going to pull out of that mode.
Well, it's obviously not going to be the same as strict fasting, but if you deprive your body totally of carbs, it's almost as good. Almost. It's not fasting, it's not. But it does keep your body in repair and maintenance, which is a good thing. I mean, now, artificial sweeteners can take your body sometimes out of maintenance and repair, which would negate the benefit. It would negate the benefit of fasting. See, your body,
because you're digesting something.
No. Here's why. You in repair and maintenance, your body is saying, it's called famine state. Your body's saying, you gotta. No, you don't want famine. Famine state is holding on to fat. Mark, when you fast, your body is saying, I have to repair everything quicker, and I have to make things quicker, stem cells, and I have to be healthier. And if you take artificial sweeteners, that's what happens. Your brain doesn't know you're not getting the benefit, is what I'm saying, because your brain thinks that you have sweets, even though it's not triggering insulin.
This girl late last year, she said, don't you worry if I disappear. I told her I'm not really...
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We have Dr. Chris Centeno with us, Centeno Schultz Clinic, doing stem cells. And we have Dr. Kent Lawson, the new orthodontics, and we talked a little bit, and I wanted to recap, basically. The new early orthodontics, NEO, he's having a seminar tonight, and I really urge anyone with children to go there. If you want to learn about getting straight teeth naturally. Now, there are some braces involved, but the way he does it is remarkable. I can tell you from personal experience with my children, they wear these mouthpieces at night when they sleep. And they've been doing it now for just several months, not over a year. And their teeth are straightening by themselves without any braces, without any extractions, without any surgeries. My daughter had a narrow palate. That's being expanded a little. That's all I can say. And it's all being done naturally. And Dr. Kent Lawson started this telling people that, you know, they don't need to do this massive dentistry with all these heavy braces. And doctor, when you get children early enough, you said about half of them don't even need braces.
Yes, that's correct.
About half. And then the other half, they use braces for less time.
Yes. We've taken children that have had huge overbites and reduced that overbite down to where we need braces for 6-7 months.
Wow.
And, you know, it's remarkable because one of the children that we treated went to several consultations. She was already 12 years old, did not have all of her permanent teeth in, but all of the consultations said that she would need surgery plus several years of braces.
And you did it without it?
With no surgery. And
the total length of time?
Well, we were at about 35 months when we add in the braces time.
But she was older when she went to you.
That's correct.
Had she come in as a young child?
We typically have a 2-year program where we see the patient every month for about 24 months with the therapist working, and the doctor oversees that.
If you want to know more about it tonight, they're down in the Lone Tree area, and it's near the
just south of Park Meadows.
Yes, just south of Park Meadows, the Lincoln station there for light rail. Here's the phone number to register for that. Just call in, and there's no charge, no obligation at all. 303-690-0400. 303-690-0400. Howard said he took his car in to the shop and it made it worse. So Howard, what was the?
Yes, sir.
What were the Oh, I can hear you much better. What were the symptoms that prompted you to take your car in?
Well, I had to. It's a 2013 Escape, and the driver's side front tire wheel bearing went bad in it. And,
how did you know that? Could you hear a noise?
Yeah, it was making like a thumping noise.
Okay.
So I took it to one garage, and they quoted me almost $600 to have it fixed. So I did some shopping around. I found a local shop right by my dad's house, Alley Automotive.
Right.
I called them, and the girl said, yeah, you know, that's not a problem. Bring it in Saturday morning at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll get it taken care of for you. I took it in at 10, and she told me it'd be done by 3 o'clock. To make a long story short, I didn't get my car back until 8 o'clock Saturday night. The so-called mechanics that were on duty were drinking while they were on the job. When I got my car back, my ABS light was on, my traction control light was on, my speedometer didn't work, and there was a horrible grinding noise coming from that same wheel. So
wait. So basically they did nothing?
They put the new wheel bearing in, but that was about it.
Okay, so what's wrong with it right now? What did you find out?
The grinding noise, they pushed the backing plate against the rotor, so that was making the grinding noise. They broke my ABS speed sensor in that wheel.
So how much did they cost you? First of all, they charged you how much?
Well, they were originally going to charge me $400 to have it fixed, and I wasn't going to pay that.
Now,
so I walked out of there.
Hold on, Howard. When you first took it in, what was the estimate? When you first took it in to Alley?
$425.
Okay, and you settled on that, or did you get less?
I got it for less. And then she quoted me $350. And then when it was all said and done, I ended up paying $140 because it took 5 hours longer than what it was supposed to.
So you walked out spending $140, and you had more problems than when you went in. Is that right?
Yes.
How much will it cost now to fix the problems?
Just to have it diagnosed is going to cost me another $180.
From who?
From O'Mara Ford.
Okay.
The sensor that I had to replace yesterday was another.
Have it at O'Mara right now?
No, my wife's got it. She's going to take it over there.
Well, okay. Where would you recommend he take this Ford? Why don't you take it to one of our independent shops?
That's where I took it, was to an independent shop.
Yeah, but we have really great independent shops on the referral list, and they're not going to screw you around, and they're going to find out exactly what's wrong with it. And this is my recommendation. I mean, if you haven't already brought it in, I would get a complete diagnostic, but here's what you have to do. You have to determine what damage these guys did, because you're probably, they're not going to write a check to you, these clowns. You're probably going to have to take to small claims court.
Yeah, and that's exactly what my next thought was going to be.
But you need to get a good diagnosis. You really need to get a good diagnosis. So your wife has it. It's drivable, right?
Somewhat. The speedometer don't work on it.
Jeez. What do these guys say at Alley Automotive? In fact, Deputy Clint, can you call Alley? Let's call him right now. Hold on a second. I'm going to have Clint talk to you. I'd like him to call and see what they have to say. I really would. Todd, welcome to the show. What's going on, Todd?
I just have some questions about the stem cell therapy. I've got my first orthoscopic surgery was about 35 years ago when I was in high school. I've had a couple since then. Both my knees are been diagnosed with arthritis, probably a 5 or 6 pain level on a daily basis.
All day you have this constant pain?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it's in your knees?
Yes.
Okay. What are you wondering if stem cells will help with knees? Did you have an actual diagnosis of your knee?
I've got bone on bone in both knees. I guess the cartilage has deteriorated.
What happens in a case like that, Dr. Centeno? Bone on bone in knees.
Yeah, so it's interesting. If you look at knees versus hips, hips don't do well with stem cells in a bone-on-bone state. Knees actually do a lot better. Now, it's not a scenario you'll see local chiropractors advertising that they can regrow new cartilage in bone-on-bone knees. That's not happening.
No, that's an exaggeration.
A complete exaggeration.
Does it grow any cartilage?
You know, it probably works by cleaning up the nasty chemicals that are within that knee and replacing the stem cell reserve that should be there.
Yes.
But in general, bone-on-bone patients might get 2 to 5 years of relief and then need to repeat the procedures, is generally what we see.
But they're not going to ever grow new cartilage?
No, if you're bone-on-bone, that's not going to happen.
What if you had a little cartilage left? Would it enhance it enough to keep you from doing surgery?
It can. We've seen that happen. Or if you've got a hole in the cartilage, we've seen those small holes fill in.
Okay, so then what is a surgical option for him? I mean,
would be knee replacement, or partial knee replacement, called a uni, meaning just one compartment.
But you're saying stem cell can get people relief?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say that right now, of all the different knee stem cell patients we treat on an annual basis, probably a third are in his category.
Really?
Yeah.
And they get relief?
Correct.
And then they come back, what, in 2 or 3 years?
They come back in 2 to 5 years and usually get an update treatment.
And so can they do that for the rest of their lives?
Well, either that or until the technology dramatically improves. We're in this interesting time where we got technology getting better in this area year over year.
So does that make sense to you, Todd?
Yes, is that so? My doctor said, well, knee replacement, but then you'll be back in 15 years to get another knee replacement. So is this...
Well, if I were you, Todd, I would at least try stem cell therapy.
No, I agree. I'm looking into it and, trying to find someplace where the price is right.
Todd, that's the worst thing you can say. Now, obviously, you want to be price sensitive, but don't go to these chiropractic offices that don't have MDs. Hold on. They should have an MD administering. They should have imaging, meaning guided injections. They should also have, of course, living stem cells, which can only be derived by harvesting on the spot. So all of these things you need to look for.
Yeah, the guys I've talked to have all said that.
Good.
I had a close friend who had his wife.
Good.
He had it done, and they draw the stem cells from the hip.
Good.
Et cetera, et cetera. So
that's what you want. And as long as it sounds like you're on the right road. But I'll tell you, the idea of this that people have about growing cartilage. Now, where can it do something like that and really have dramatic? Where are the most dramatic results you're getting?
Yeah, ACLs right now are unbelievable.
So it can actually repair a tear in an ACL.
Yeah, about 70% of the ones that currently get surgery, we can make look almost perfect on MRI after putting stem cells into them, and have those people go on to have normal lives without ever having gotten an ACL replacement.
How about pets?
Oh, veterinarian stem cell, are they doing
CSU is where we started all this stuff back in 2005, so it's been heavily used in pets.
You know, I told that guy that had that car problem he should go to one of our shops on the referral list, and I'll tell you, Pro Auto Care is one of them. He could go in there and they'll look at it. You know, all of our places will look at it without charge, just give you a complimentary examination, give you an estimate. Now, of course, if something has to be torn into, they'll let you know. But Pro Auto Care has been on my referral list for a very long time, and you can trust them. 25 years in business. Pro Auto Care is the place to go with 2 locations near I-25 in Evans and near Santa Fe in Bowles. 303 Pro Auto. That's 303 Pro Auto, and the website is 303proauto.com.
So like in the NFL, are they using that for partial tear? Like
just went out that way.
Partial tear, the quarterback in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we actually treated.
It's just better that way.
Well, actually, the guy at the Dolphins
came in context.
No.
Just recently.
Yeah, the new guy. He, I'm blanking on his name, but
what's his name came from Chicago? That's the one.
No, he played it, I think, at North. Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, okay.
So Ryan had gotten his partial ACL tear treated. Now they screwed it up at a famous sports medicine clinic, which they didn't know what they were doing with stem cells. So we tried to actually help him after they screwed it up, and we weren't able to salvage it. But yeah, they're definitely using these things to try to help partial ACL tears. The problem is the orthopedic sports medicine clinics don't understand.
Gotcha. So they're doing stuff that
they're just.
Are they doing it in combination with surgery, or?
No, they tried to get his with ultrasound, and the problem is you can't do it with ultrasound. You got to use X-ray guidance.
Okay.
And so they only got about half of his ACL covered. So then the other half broke, and it went from something that was easily treatable into a nightmare. So.
That sounds like a lawsuit.
We just dropped like 1,000 on our dog for the ACL. You know what they do?
Yeah.
They go in and use literally fishing line to repair it. They ran a new ACL with fishing line.
Did they really? Yeah.
All right.
It worked.
Really?
A small dog or a big dog?
Small dog. If it's over, I want to say if it's over 49 pounds, they can't do it that way.
Gotcha.
Can I get a thicker fishing line?
That's what I said. I don't know why you can't. That's exactly what I said.
Or stainless steel.
Higher test. But they literally use fishing line.
My sister has fishing line on her shoulder.
It's strong. Dan's got it in his brain.
Hey, do you have the phone number for A1 Automotive?
But, so the ACL surgery was
No, A1. You recommend this guy.
$800 or $900.
It's a real simple.
If you had to do the other kind, if it was a bigger dog, you get it as $1,000. But the stem cells would cost more than that. Period through that, I would assume, than the $800 or $900 would do.
Probably similar. But the problem with that is you're not going to get. They don't do imaging guided stuff other than actually some would do ultrasound, but usually not in. Those are the equine vets. The small animal vets usually don't do ultrasound guided injections.
Right.
Well, that's true. I mean, some of those horses, let's face it, man, if you can fix some of those thoroughbreds, just the stud fees are ungodly.
Yeah, I mean, those are expensive.
That thing with the differential problem?
They showed one that broke its leg
Budget
during a big race years ago. I don't know, it was part of the Triple Crown, but it broke its leg, and they still studded it out, but the way they did it was in a pool, so they'd have this thing under them, and I'm thinking, my God, how much would that cost? But then when you think if he's getting $1 million a hit,
yeah, it's probably worth it.
It's probably well worth it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Did you ever stud out horses at all?
Did I what?
Ever stud out horses?
We never had good enough with it.
Never had the line.
But I knew a guy that did. You know, Mark, it's so few and far between the good ones that people hear about it, and it's the holy grail. It's what everyone strives for, because they hear these stories of a guy that gets paid
$1 million a pop.
or you know, even a medium, 25,000, right? 25 grand for a guaranteed live foal. That's really not bad if you have a champion. So this guy would get 25 grand 3 times a day, 4 days a week. I swear to God.
Really?
Man, that horse
That's
is
a
working.
perfect horse.
Give that horse Viagra.
He was happy. He was a happy horse.
My God.
We had to give him a little Viagra in there.
We have to have something.
Put a lot of coffee.
So anyway, what I'm saying is that so all these horses, they always strive for
That's
that.
huge money.
Now, the guy that has Remax didn't want to have a horse that I think got 100
free offer ends at 10 p.m. Tuesday, January 9th. So please call Financial Elections today.
Started out both ways.
309.
But he said if he took all the money he spent getting that and how much it costs to have a horse operate,
Probably still losing
it's people never really make money at it.
Really? Horses are that expensive?
God, they are.
It's a good great story, though. Horse people are crazy. They'll live in a shack to have their horse on a nice
They will,
farm.
man. But how many stallions end up being champions? But like when you say champions, are they race champions or are they show champions?
What's that?
Well, how many stallions end up being race champions? No, or they
Very few.
right. So I
But
guess
it's all in the bloodline. Like you get something that's in the direct bloodline of Seattle Slew, it's worth X amount. Or all the cats, those it's another great line.
who's the best racer? Are geldings the best? Or
I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're racing. If you're
Well,
racing a straight mile, or not a straight mile.
Right, well, Kentucky Derby or something.
I'm Tom Martino.
Your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Genesis Total Exteriors. If you're looking for home improvement contractors that won't rip you off, man, we get so many calls of people that put money down and get nothing in return. You can trust Mark Szymanski. He's a great guy. He's been on my referral list for 20 years or more. 303-679-8509. They do indoor and outdoor. They do roofing, window and sidings, gutters, basements, kitchens. That's GenesisTotalExteriors.com. So let's talk. Todd, I'm sorry that we took him already. Eric has a stem cell question. We have Dr. Chris Centeno with us. We're privileged to have him in our area, one of the first doctors or the first doctor to actually use stem cells in a clinical setting, and he really knows what he's talking about. What's going on, Eric?
Yeah, hey, Tom. Hey, so here's the deal. About 10 years ago, my wife fell and separated her shoulder. Initial diagnosis, we found out a couple years later, was they misread the x-ray, and they said it was the least separation. Turned out to be a moderate one, and she should have probably had surgery. And now she's having problems where they're listing it as a muscular impingement, and the recommendation is surgery. Would something like this work with that, or help with this?
Yeah, Eric, we see those types of things quite often. The big problem if you get surgery in that kind of scenario is that the surgery will destabilize the shoulder. So already that AC joint tends to hold things together, so it got stretched out a bit. That's the AC separation. And so the shoulder's probably already a little sloppy and unstable.
Yeah.
So if you then cut out more of that stuff, it gets more sloppy and unstable. So while you'll get better on the short run, you tend to get worse in the long run. So yeah, we see quite a few of those patients. Now the big thing is going to be how much impingement is there, how much bone is pressing on the rotator cuff, and to look at all that, we got to look at images. But usually we can help those patients without going the surgical route.
All right, so this is Dr. Chris Centeno you're listening to, and when he's not here, CentenoSchultz.com, and it's 303-963-9201. We also have Dr. Kent Lawson with us. We were talking about the new orthodontics, and this question comes from Robert I don't know where, but Robert, Big Bear Flooring, if you're listening, that was his email. Okay, so Robert wants to know if it works on adults, and we've talked about that. How does the childhood straightening of the teeth differ from the adult straightening? You still widen the palate. You've proven you can do it without surgery. How does it differ? If you're an adult and you want straight teeth, you say 2 years. What's involved? Same thing? Mouthpieces at night or what?
Well, first of all, we have to... you always have to work with the body. If you've got growth ahead of you, you can influence that growth so that teeth come in very naturally.
But let's say in their 20s or 30s, adults.
Exactly. And as I alluded to before, the biggest problem is underdevelopment of the upper jaw causes almost all the problems.
Right.
So we develop that upper jaw through slow palatal expansion, and we widen it to create the ideal arch form, and by doing so, it also creates a lot of other happy, healthy things.
Like sleep apnea.
Better breathing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It does away with them.
Yes.
So let's talk about that, though. Is it the same thing? Do you wear the night mouthpieces, or do you wear something all day?
No, this would be a 24/7 appliance, but it goes up in the roof of the mouth. You never even see it.
Okay, so when you're an adult, you wear this, and then you gradually adjust it for them over the next year or so?
Yeah, they actually are adjusting it themselves in between
really?
visits, but we see them every maybe 6 to 8 weeks and get further adjustment.
And then when do they use the Invisalign braces? Toward the end?
Yes, that would be more of a final stage type of thing, either braces or Invisalign.
And it's amazing the results you've had in just 2 years.
Absolutely.
And the total cost is, like I said, compared to like 50 or 60,000 worth of, the veneers and stuff. What is the range of pricing for this?
Well, for an adult orthodontics, you'd be looking at anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000 typically.
That's if people did any research whatsoever, that would be 2 veneers.
Right, right.
I mean, literally, you would realign the entire mouth and jaw.
Now, Tom, this assumes that they don't have TMJ dysfunction some other things that complicate it, and that'll take it over 10,000 when they do that type of thing. But still,
it'll never approach 25, 30, 40.
That's correct. That's correct.
Which is incredible. Okay, Shirley, I'm sorry. I see that you've waited a while here. Go on, Shirley. What's happening?
Well, I have a problem, and it's kind of complicated, so I will make it as simple as I can. I had been a Sprint customer for 20 years, and a friend of mine wanted to buy me a new phone for a combination birthday and Christmas gift. And so we went into the Sprint store, but I had called them because they had a lot of different places, had a lot of deals going on right around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so I asked them, I said, can you, even though I'm an existing customer, can you match any of these?
Well, you see, that always ticks me off on how they make new customers get better deals. So what did they say?
They told me that they would take $200 off the price of the phone and then $100 credit off of my bill.
Every month?
No, a total of $100.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we said, oh, fine, that's good. So we went in the Saturday after Thanksgiving and bought the phone, and my friend foolishly paid cash. And he paid $606.97, and they didn't let us buy the phone. You have to lease it. You're not allowed to buy it. And so the balance due was $30.
Okay, so what's the point? If he went through with it, there's not much you can do about it.
The point is that when I got an email from Sprint telling me that at the end of 18 months, if I want to keep the phone, I had to pay another $187. So I took the phone back on Monday.
What kind of phone was it?
It's a Galaxy. It's a Samsung.
But what I don't understand, Shirley...
There might have been a subsidy on it.
No, but what I don't understand is if it was not as promised, why did you go through with it?
Because we didn't know it wasn't as promised that night.
What do you mean you didn't know? Help me through it.
I've got all the paperwork here.
And the paperwork that you signed that night said what?
That the cash that the cash price that he put down was $606.97, leaving a balance of $30.50.
Okay, and so wait, so if you paid $606, you would still owe $30.
Right, because you couldn't buy it, you had to lease it. So then I got an email from Sprint telling me that if I wanted to.
So what did you pay? What did you pay that night?
$606.97.
You literally wrote a check for $606.
He gave them cash.
He gave them. Did he get a receipt for that?
We have the receipt.
Okay, so he gave them $606 in cash, or $607, and then the $30. Why did he leave a $30 balance?
Because you couldn't buy the phone outright. You
okay, so that $30 was going to be paid over how long?
Right, 18 months.
Oh, are you kidding? Okay, so that $30 was stretched out over 18 months, and then you find out at the end he still owes another $100.
$187.
See, they get, on their website, they get $750 for that Galaxy
Right.
S8, though.
See, the deal was that they were going to take $200 off since Best Buy and all those places had these deals going on.
But
and
they
when
didn't.
I called the headquarters.
Listen, I get it. You don't have to go over it. Okay. I get it. I get it. They lied to you, basically. They said you're getting the phone basically for $636.
Right.
And you're not. There's another $187 on top of it.
Okay,
but,
now the deal is that I got an email from them telling me that there was that much.
All right, hold on one sec, because I'm really overtime. Hold on.
That's not on the contract. There's a $187 balance. Can't she get out of it? I mean, don't they have to disclose everything on the contract? Did she send a contract or anything?
I don't understand what she's saying. That phone sells for $750 plus.
Yeah, but they said they were going to match it. That's all. They said she.
But most of those matches, you basically sign up for a 2-year deal. So I'm saying all they did was subsidize.
On Black Friday, that's what I did. Signed up for another.
Right here, I can buy a phone on Sprint.com and pay cash for that phone, but it's $750.
Okay, but then she knew that. They said we're going to give it to you cheaper.
Since you can buy it cheaper at Walmart.
Right, that's what they told her, but they did not do it.
Sure. On Black Friday.
No, but we have a Sprint Angel that we can put Daphne on if we need it. Where's the campfire? It's freezing in here.
I love it. Everybody, it's a little cold here. It's chilly.
Did you turn it down?
Yeah, you want me to warm it up?
Warm it up. I got long underwear.
I'm from Montana. I'm fine.
We're in Montana. I've never heard anybody from Montana that's not from Billings. Is that the only city in all?
Well, it's the largest.
I know it's the biggest.
And it's one closest, really, to Denver.
Okay.
What sucks is, too, that she's not going to be able to use that phone with AT&T or...
Really?
Yeah, it's CDMA. She can use it on Verizon. Maybe.
The rest of the state, everybody goes to Seattle. Like,
oh, yeah, because it'd be close.
Right, and Boise.
Yeah.
Eastern, where more the mountains are, I think. The Billings, this is about as close as Minneapolis or Seattle. So they can down here.
A lot of little commuter airlines that start out, I don't know how many I've seen start their routes Denver to Billings.
Well, they should do it again because United charges high prices.
Well, maybe that's why they're doing it. While the little cloud jumpers start.
Yeah.
I've seen about 4 start up.
I got a deal for $550 now, and 10 years ago, you used to go these little jumpers, playing for $230 or something like that.
I can go to Phoenix almost any time of the year for $59.
Yeah.
Because it's such a popular destination.
Yeah.
Vegas too.
Well, they got you.
For how much?
59. Yeah. Vegas, Phoenix.
720-895-0500.
Florida's cheap.
My wife and I go down to Algodones for Delaware.
Go down to where?
Algodones.
The airline? Yeah. No, they just
They make it, they pack those planes 100% full, man. They make it literally on the people.
I wonder if Dr. Rubio.
Plus, remember when it's 59, you still got to pay for lunch. You still got to, if you want to work on a cocktail or a beverage, if you want a snack, I mean, they charge for everybody. And if you want to pick where you're going to sit.
These guys, because they
want to order
stuff for a number of years.
I wish they board where everybody would just start at the beginning.
They don't do anything high tech.
And then work their way back.
It's just basic demos,
And I think you should put your luggage in the back if you're sitting on the front. That way, when you stop, you go to the back, you get your luggage.
He's all East Germany.
This Dr. Rubio works down there. He teaches in Europe during the summer.
You would agree.
You're right with her down there. 3,500 Americans go there every day.
Where?
Algodones, right across from Yuma, for dental.
Yuma.
It's but anyway, my wife.
Stem cells down there too, right?
Yeah, and the 2 places I checked, Dr. Diaz and whatever, they were taking them from.
Dentist, stem cells, and donkey shows.
In that order.
This place is strictly. I mean, it's the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
Go down.
You
might get the trifecta.
It's just bizarre. The Canadians walking there.
Some out of the way places have got incredible things.
I don't know, I heard about a friend of mine that got a hip replacement.
Oh, let's go to Roommate.
Costa Rica? Europe. No, it's in Europe, where it was like a spa. I don't know if you've heard of these.
Yeah. Costa Rica has one of those for
India as well. You ever think about buying GoPro?
They put him up.
Buying what? GoPro?
Put him up in.
Buying a GoPro?
No, was the hotel was part of that company.
Those Chinese knockoffs, just because you get their fucking.
They're next to nothing. It seemed like it was India.
I mean, they're next to free.
Yeah, she got so tired of the dialysis. I think it was India.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. You know, I don't fully understand this problem.
Because here's what she said. She said she went to Sprint and they promised to get her a phone at a certain price. So, but in order to do it, they had to make it look like a lease. So he paid $600 in cash, basically, and he was going to finance $30 of it. So in essence, he was buying the phone. But now she found out at the end of that lease, there's a $187 premium to be paid. So in essence, she's complaining that the phone deal is basically a total, let's just do it, 607 plus 30 plus 187 equals 824. So that's the phone, 824. Okay. Now, Shirley, you're saying...
That's not why I'm calling.
What's that?
That's not why I'm calling.
Oh, okay. Why are you calling?
I took the phone back.
She's got a problem with the contractor.
No, go ahead. What is it, Shirley? Tell me.
We bought the phone Saturday night,
right.
Saturday after Thanksgiving. I took it back on Monday and returned it. And I gave them the phone. I paid a $45 restocking fee.
Okay. I didn't know they allow a return?
They allow a return within 14 days.
Okay, good.
And you have to pay $45, which I understood.
Good.
And I told them I also wanted to cancel my Sprint account. And I was supposed
was this phone going to be on your Sprint account or on another one? Okay.
No, on mine.
Okay.
So I was supposed to get a check within 14 days for the amount of money that we had paid.
Cash, right.
Right. Okay, this has been 6 weeks later. I have still gotten nothing.
Huh.
I have called Sprint several times. They're always going to get back
Now that's
to me.
weird that you didn't get that back. Did you get all of this cancellation in writing?
I have it in writing, and so I went ahead and I've called Sprint several times. I've gone into the store I purchased it at.
Yeah.
And so far, they're going to call me. They're going to let me know.
Now, is your account canceled?
It is canceled. I canceled it on the 27th
and you have
November.
You have somewhere else now, right? They don't care. Here's what I found, and this happened with me with Verizon. Once you leave a carrier, they don't care about you at all. I mean, they put you at the bottom of the list. So we need to call for you. That's all. That's
it. That's why because I have tried.
Well, I want to give this to Deputy Daff to call because she'll henpeck him to death.
Just serve him at the store. $55. Get your court costs back.
Yeah, really? Would you serve him for the money first?
Well, Cat, I'm starting to sue people every month.
I love it the way you're doing it. Mark is really, honest to goodness, he uses the small claim system.
I got Uber on the 11th.
As a pain in the ass, and they almost always settle beforehand. But before you do that, Shirley, Suzanne, let's give this to Deputy Daff and let her hound dog him. Because I think that'll do it. Craig just hung up. I wanted to take him. And Joan? Go ahead, Joan. What's going on?
Hi.
Hi, Joan.
I was diagnosed with stage 3B metastatic breast cancer.
When was this?
In 1993.
Okay.
And I was referred to City of Hope because they were doing an experimental protocol with high-dose chemo and a stem cell rescue.
Huh.
And here I am. I was 50 when I was diagnosed, and I just turned 75 2 weeks ago.
That's wonderful. Now, what did the stem cell play a part in? What did that do as part of this?
It was to build new, stronger bone marrow.
Dr. Centeno?
What they did was they destroyed my own bone marrow.
They gave her high-dose chemo, destroying her radiation, destroying her own bone marrow, then they need to do a bone marrow transplant.
So I didn't have a bone marrow transplant.
Instead, she did stem cell.
It was autologous stem cells. They harvested my own stem cells.
But in essence, that is a bone marrow transplant.
An auto transplant, autologous, meaning from you.
That's great, though.
Take it, destroy it, put it back.
Okay, well, it worked. We're happy to hear that. She's now 70. She got that when she was 50. Thank you for calling. Congratulations. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Today is the day you break this.
Yeah, they could do that. Did you buy some of that?
No. My biggest thing, I didn't like it back then.
It's pretty arduous because you got to get a lot.
That's all they got.
What's that?
GoPros.
I don't even know if they got really good patent either, because they're so not done.
That'll get much better.
In fact, I bet they don't have that. They're just a put a sports
Smaller
camera.
marks, grow a bunch.
You see that still not allowed. They went up to roll more like you
There's no difference between
You
this.
do it down at the Grand Cayman site, but it's not allowed in the U.S.
See, that's why. I wonder who makes GoPro.
12 megapixel, 12 megapixel.
It went bad, so she went down to Automotive.
Oh,
Pretty sure some of it was up in her sinus cavity.
Look at this one, $39.
$300.
When their stock went up, they should have tried to sell.
And all the accessories fit, the knockoffs and the regulars. I mean, everything.
$804. So it was up in $24.
That's why.
So she jumped
And
on
look,
the plane.
here's what I did. I typed in GoPro. You type in GoPro to Amazon. The knockoff, which is Amazon's choice.
Under $150 to run to Algodones rather than.
No, in fact, the paid ones are the damn GoPro at the top. Look. Sponsored.
Now, I don't expect not here to be that low, but really, it's $200 for the office visit, September 1st.
I love that. That's not why I called
to move cities, yeah.
I know, and oh well.
My roof is leaking.
I know, wasn't that
She also
But the reason I called was, I agree with that. There should be more decaffeinated fucking blah, blah, blah at gas stations.
I mean, I've never seen that before, but, and it was $1,850 here. It's still hers, so she had both these done at the same time.
Yeah, I go on the 11th to 3 days. Uber, yeah. Where do you go?
Crown
Littleton.
Arapahoe County, down there in the court.
I have to go to the Crown too.
Arapahoe County Court, so you're over, that's not Littleton.
It's not big enough to beat up the American market. You know,
They have courtrooms there, and they have downtown neighbor, small claims just downtown.
She was a nurse. Matter of fact, she
which sucks is because it's way down there.
Full time, and she was won the Florence Nightingale Award.
I don't know. I gotta look. Suzanne just later.
I'd like to.
I've
never been to small.
Wonderful lesbian
neighbor. See what they.
Well, on the 11th, it's mediation.
Oh,
Littleton's one of these idiots that has to. When she was, I already talked to the guy. I went off on him. The guy that called. What sucks is they were ready to make a settlement, but I went off on him. Then I started thinking, Christ, I'd rather just get the settlement.
Yeah, because it was ethylene glycol.
They didn't even say because I cut the guy off.
And it killed her kidneys.
I was so upset thinking it. He got me so riled up thinking how that guy stole my phone. I just got so
It was
pissed.
the generators.
Did he deny it?
Anyway, but the ethylene glycol.
Did they deny it? No, but here's where I had him. I know the guy's an illegal
That was
alien.
for about a year.
Okay.
And she was
So-
in India. In India, it's legal.
They said they do a background check. I said breach of contract because I would have never worked with this guy if you guys kept your contract and did a background check. So their argument's going to be like, well, our background check doesn't
People are so poor,
include
they don't see $6,000.
status. I bet is what they're going to say.
They completely change their life. No.
But I want to hear from them. I want to hear
Will
exactly
guarantee those
But
people
why wouldn't they?
that donate
So,
the kidneys that if
even
they
though
ever
that
need them,
happens,
that they
say
give the
that.
kidneys.
Still, they're
It's really rare,
stolen.
you know.
That's the other argument I made. I said, you know what, the other argument is, I believe they're employees. I know you call them independent contractors, but the state of California, other states and other countries,
They're
have found them as
nurse
employees.
knows what she was doing. And
So your employee's
girlfriend or wife, I guess they're married, went with her to double check. She's also, you know, the cleanliness and everything, and they said they were.
But what really sucks is I know he was just about to make me an offer, and I went off. I went off so bad. And then when I was done, I was thinking, oh man, I shouldn't have went off on him. He was probably going to offer me $800.
For what?
For my phone. When I talked to Uber, he was ready to make me an offer, and I was so mad thinking about it.
So are you going to, who will actually show up there?
I don't know, I'll find out.
This is mediation.
Yeah, in Arapahoe County, it's forced mediation, and then if we don't.
For them to actually do this is a pain in their ass.
Oh, big time. I figure worst scenario, they're spending at least a couple grand on it. Mediation, the court.
They don't have to put an attorney in mediation. They're just going to have a person show up.
Who would they have show up? Some guy that works, one of their drivers?
Another Uber guy. It's going to cost him $23. What's that?
He drives himself.
When it comes to the IRS, I refer them to Larson Tax Relief. If you owe back taxes, if it's been years since you these guys are the best. They have a fantastic team of experts.
I can't believe you'd ask me that.
Your situation, their names.
Would I vote for Oprah? Are you crazy?
Oprah, yeah, Oprah is. I get you the absolutely speech last night. Golden Globes.
You won't have to worry about your wages.
She'd be crazy to run for president.
She problems with tears.
We'll get between you and the IRS.
I guess the women all wore black.
She's not running for president.
Restaurant and Jack Larson and their team.
Although that's what everybody said about Trump for a while. Well, there's no way he's a billionaire. Who's going to lose money?
Taxrelief.com. That's
You guys might do it.
Larson Tax.
I think everybody's taking a look at what a beat you take, and they're going to be crazy.
Oh, right, like a black one. Yeah, they would be total hands off. You think Obama's hands off?
Let's hear who really.
Policies, man.
The media will never say anything bad about it.
I didn't have to pay to have trash.
When the stock market goes to shit station, no one will care.
Look at what Obama's
They go through looking for things about it.
Yeah.
It's just like real. I would not do it to my wife again.
Yeah.
I realized it wasn't personal for me. You know, it was just.
You never miss a call.
So 2 shots of tequila, donkey show, root canal, and stem cell therapy.
And they have
$49.95.
They have a thing that looks like a mouse down there. You click on your cheek and your teeth
Just
show
gotta go room to room.
on a 40-inch screen. It's not export. It's not kind of it's made by a place in Germany that makes the X-ray equipment. Siemens, yeah, made by Siemens. Right on.
Do you know anything about C85?
Some of them have O200.
About what?
C85s and O200.
Yeah. Not much difference in them.
Well,
I mean, 15
I
horsepower.
thought they were interchangeable. I know.
They are.
I have a C85 that was turned up to an O200, the crank and cylinders.
In your air cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought a new oil sign.
Yeah.
But the stuff I ordered goes to an O200. It's a little bigger to fit in there, but I don't know if the whole pattern's the same. I assume it is. It doesn't matter. I got it.
30 K-How.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show this hour, brought to you by Ideal Home Loans. With Ideal Home Loans, I'll tell you, Brent, you want to talk about custom term mortgages, but I'll tell you what's even more important. They're going to do away with the interest on the seconds.
That's right.
And so, therefore, if people have seconds, they're going to want to look at consolidating, right?
Well, absolutely. You know, on top of that, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac recently increased the conventional loan limit for most of the Front Range counties to $529,000. So, for those people looking to combine that second mortgage, that home equity line of credit into a first mortgage, there's a great opportunity to do it thanks to these increased loan limits. And then our custom term mortgage, you don't have to go backwards. You don't have to start over on a brand new home loan and hit the reset button. If you've made 5 or 6 years of payments or 12 or 13 years, you can take those years with you. We can set up your new loan so that you still pay your house off as you're scheduled to right now as it stands currently, but take advantage of lower interest rates and lower payments along the way.
So for all of your mortgage needs or refinance needs or purchase money needs, don't forget the interest rate guarantee. If they go down, the rates go down, they'll refinance you free of charge over the next 2 years. 303-867-7000. 867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Let's talk to Joseph. He wants to make a service pet or something. Joseph, go ahead, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm going well, sir. Thank you.
So I just moved back to Colorado from Florida. Me and my ex-wife got a divorce. And to make sure I could see my kids longer or more, I came back here. So I was homeless for a little bit, staying with a friend. The human resources people from Denver helped me get into an apartment. I got a new job, got everything set up and everything. As a VA, it takes forever to reestablish. So now that I'm back, I'm 90% disabled. And the apartment...
So what kind of work do you do if you're 90% disabled?
Well, so my leg and my back's messed up, so I can't really do too much like lifting. So I'm a local truck driver. I just sit and drive all day.
Good. And then you get VA benefits?
Yes, sir.
You're a disabled vet. Okay.
So I'm 90% disabled. I have service-connected disabilities for my back, my anxiety, and things like that. So I have a comfort animal, Rhodey, my Shih Tzu, and then I also have a stability dog and retriever dog. He's a Siberian Husky.
What do you mean stability dog? To lean on?
Well, yeah. So if I have to get up from like the couch or a chair or something, the dog will help me stand up.
Okay.
So he'll like stiffen up his.
So
body
you
so
have 2 service pets.
Yes.
Okay.
And, but I.
Are you there, Joseph?
Yeah,
Joseph, you're
you
cutting
hear
in
me?
and out. Joseph, hold on a sec. You know there's a difference between a service dog and an emotional support dog.
Yes, there's two different things.
And one has more rights than the other.
Yes.
The service pets, when they're designated, is the strongest thing. Landlords and people can turn away emotional support animals.
My thing is...
They absolutely can.
Hold on, Joseph.
Qualified or...
Joseph, hold on. Again, you're cutting out. So let's take it one at a time. Are you having problems with your landlord?
Yes, but I guess it's my fault because I don't have the documentation that my dog is a service animal.
Okay, now, will both dogs qualify as service pets?
Yes.
Okay, so what is lacking?
The paperwork. I need the VA. I need to wait for the VA to get established here in Colorado for them to write the letters that I need to qualify my dogs.
Okay, so both of your dogs need a letter.
Yes, and I'm just trying to get qualified with the VA, but the complex doesn't want to wait until I can get it.
Now, are there any other people that could give you a letter saying you need these dogs?
I don't know. All I know is the VA can authorize the letter.
Yeah, but there should be other people that are able to do it. I don't know. Dr. Centeno, have you ever written a letter for service dogs for orthopedic injuries and stuff? Have you ever done it?
Sure, yeah.
So I think it just takes a doctor to do it, Joseph. I don't think you need VA to do it.
Or get a doctor at the VA.
Or a doctor at the VA, right.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to VA and with an appointment and just...
Back?
Listen, do you go regularly to see a doctor at the VA?
Not yet, because I have to get reestablished. So
how long? I mean, how long would it take you to get an appointment? What I'm saying is, if you pre-write
I have an appointment on the 7th.
And can you wait till the 7th?
Not the 7th, the 9th.
The 9th. Can you wait? That's just tomorrow. If you pre-write a letter or two, and for each dog, or pre-write one letter for both dogs, and have your doctor, wouldn't your doctor just sign it?
I don't know, because they haven't seen me. Like, I talked to them, and they said they have to see me. So I don't know if they're willing to just sign off on the letter.
Well, I'm saying take it with you. So you have it pre-written. It's typed out. I don't know if you can get one done or we can help you. And then once it's written, you take it to them and say, after you examine me, can you please sign this? Do you think he would do it? Or how have you gotten one in the past?
Well, I have no clue, but I have an appointment.
Have you had service? Have you had these dogs before certified?
No.
Okay, this is the first time.
Yeah, but because I'm 90%, I was told that I can get them as my service animal.
Yeah, you can. You can. But they have to truly. They have to truly have a function.
They have to do a task.
Yeah. What does the Shih Tzu do?
I mean, he's an emotional support dog, so I have anxiety. So
that's
if I become too stressed,
that's not the same, though.
It has to do a task.
There has to be a task involved. Joseph, your landlord does not have to accept an emotional support animal.
Okay.
The other dog, if he helps you with stability and standing and all that, that I guess could be done. I guess you could call that a task. But someone might ask why you don't just use a cane for that,
Yeah.
And
well, it's more because if I become too stressed, or I'm gonna because of my anxiety and stuff, I'm gonna have a
I know.
panic attack or something.
I know.
But can the dog detect that's going to happen? That would be the task.
Yeah, the dog will sense that I'm doing it, and he'll get my attention to get me away from whatever the situation is.
Okay, and the dog can be in training.
Yeah.
So how would you do it? How would you do it, Mark or Clint? How would you do it? I mean...
I don't know on the Shih Tzu. I mean, it's got to be trained to do a task. It's simple as that.
Do they put them to a test? I mean, how do they certify these dogs? I mean, Suzanne, we need to get someone who knows how to do it. I mean,
we had her on last week, and that's exactly what she said. There's two questions. One, what's your disability? And two, what task?
Okay, can we call her and ask her if these are enough tasks?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hold on. We'll try to get our expert. Meanwhile, if anyone knows about service animals or emotional support animals.
The emotional support from last week, the reason is, in their contract with the landlord, it said no pets. And
I know.
Unless if it's a service animal, an emotional support dog, you can't have it.
Right. They don't consider emotional support legit, basically.
That's, you know, you can see why, right?
Well, listen, and Joseph, between you and me, I don't care. I mean, if you want a dog or a couple dogs and you follow the rules otherwise, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't care. I really don't. Even if you're trying to just get them in there because you want them, okay? You're a disabled veteran. If you want your dogs and they make you feel better, I'm all for it.
You know what else you can have is a support animal?
What? Cat?
A miniature horse.
But you can't have one in an apartment.
Yes, you can.
Mark.
If it's certified, you absolutely can. A miniature horse.
And they can't say no.
They can't say no.
Are you? Come on, man.
I kid you not, sir.
You talked to her last week about it? Really?
Yeah, I mean, a year ago we talked about that, but I did bring it up last week.
But getting it certified would be hard, right? What
it
task?
Has to do a task. I think they can smell the change in your blood for, I forget exactly what she said, but the horses can smell it.
All right, so if you have any opinions on this, or if you have a problem, question, or complaint, for the first time today we have wide open lines at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. You can get right through. You can talk to Dr. Chris Centeno about stem cell therapy if you'd like, or Dr. Kent Lawson about the new orthodontics. We have a lot more to talk about on the Troubleshooter Show. We talked to Ideal Home Loans before, and I want to tell you also, if you're looking for a home, you will not do better than Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. Now, of course, he's a buyer broker and a selling broker. So if you're looking to sell, he'll stage the home. He gets the home cleaned, set up, marketed proactively. He sells statistically faster and for more money than anyone else. Give him a call, 303-920-1622. He's helping me right now look for something. I just have I may not do anything, but I just have this wild idea I might want to downsize. Anyway, he's helping me out, and boy, is he, you get the feeling you're his only customer. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. And while we're on the topic here of docs, I know that personal injury is a big deal, and we've actually had people do stem cell therapy and got it covered by a personal injury attorney, a settlement. Now, insurance, Dr. Centeno, doesn't cover stem cell therapy, right? Is it still considered experimental?
It is. However, we're getting select self-insured companies to cover it.
Oh, good. And I know that in some personal injury settlements, people have been able to make it part of their settlement, saying, hey, I know this is going to cost, and they work it into their settlement. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about John Fuller. John Fuller, I think, one of his biggest strengths is not only the personal contact you get, because he oversees every single case and you talk to him personally, but finding the money. And that's really important, because if you have a personal injury, no matter how legit it is, if you can't find someone responsible with money, it doesn't do any good. That's why he looks to insurance companies, connected insurance companies, people's employers, or maybe people that live together. I know that sounds terrible to some to say, wait a minute, what do you mean? But if you're injured and somebody was using their parents' car and they have insurance, you want to know that. John Fuller will help you not only collect for your medical bills and problems, but also for your emotional problems, your pain and suffering. He is an expert at quantifying your damages. If you want to know what an injury is worth if someone else is responsible, he'll give you good, honest answers. He won't lie to you, he won't exaggerate, and then he'll fight for you if he thinks he can do some good. And he only collects if you collect a small portion of what you get. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500. That's Fuller Law, John Fuller. His website is personalinjuryco.com. Our phone number, if you want to call us right now, 303-713-TALK.
This report is brought to you by Indeed.
It's a Mile High City Freeway. You know what else you can, if the dog is disruptive, if it's a service dog, you can ask it to leave. Really? Okay. So if it's angry, starts barking at other dogs, you know, if it's in a movie.
A horse in the house.
Yeah. You know, I asked her, because you told me something that drives me nuts, and I wonder if little horses are different. How do you potty train a horse? Are you sure, even a little horse?
No, they cannot be trained. I mean, I've known people who've tried and tried and tried. You can't even get them to go in one spot. You can't.
Like llamas?
I mean,
alpacas will always shit in the same place.
You can't get horses, even if you could get a horse, like to go. Now, some horses do it just because they do it. Like they'll go in the corner of their stall. They always go there. But that doesn't mean that you can train them to go somewhere. It's a place they pick. I mean, horses will just be walking down the street and crap or pee. They don't.
They do up in the middle of the parade.
Nothing.
I'm pretty sure she said diabetes.
Is there a diaper on that horse there?
They're good as seeing eye dogs. Well, they'd be a seeing eye horse.
Horses aren't?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
But I could have sworn the big one was the.
How big are these horses?
Oh man, they're like they're smaller than a really big dog, but they're big. They're smaller than like a mastiff.
Looks like a midget horse, doesn't it?
They're really cute. Hey, they don't like being called midgets. Oh, little horses. Little horses.
Don't call me a midget.
If that wording on that service animal isn't exactly right, it doesn't fly. I'm going to have him call me. I know what the wording is. We looked at on the service animal. After we had that last week, I went home and looked it up because my neighbors have emotional support dogs. They take to nursing homes, and why they don't count, what you have to have.
Generally, the reason, I just realized this, the reason someone would use a miniature horse is because they're allergic to dogs, and they can be trained to do the same stuff.
They can be housebroken.
I can't believe you would.
They're not housebroken, though, I don't think.
I heard, well.
I asked her, and I could have sworn she said they can be
She
trained.
said if they're housebroken, that's what she said. I don't know if that means you can housebreak them, but she did say if they're housebroken.
Oh, in Muslim law, dogs cannot be kept as pets, but they have to be horses. I didn't know that.
Oh, so if you're a Muslim, you can have a service horse.
God, these things are cute. Look at that.
I know they're cute.
Did you ever have one of those?
No, I didn't have
But
one.
they like
I've been
Shetland
around
ponies. Shetland ponies are mean, man. Those
Yeah, they
suckers
are.
will fight you.
It's almost like they're pissed off that they're small. Hi, Tom Martino here.
Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Suzanne, I'll wait until you get the call screen up, but until then, I want to ask Dr. Kent Lawson, tonight you have a seminar. People can call to get there. If you want to know about the new orthodontics for kids, starting at an early age using mouthpieces at night and then having minimal time in braces, sometimes no braces at all, and having perfectly straight teeth and an aligned jaw, 303-690-0400 if you call tonight starting at 6. It's in Lone Tree near the Lincoln light rail station. Call for directions, 303-690-0400. What will you be discussing? Will you show case histories before and after?
Absolutely. We're going to show some case histories. I mentioned that one that needed surgery by several different, and we'll show that case, and we'll show a number of others. But we'll also show the relationship of some of the problems that develop, like airway issues that can cause things like bedwetting, as an example, or you know.
You mean bedwetting can be tied to malocclusions and,
it can be
tied, and a bad palate?
It can be tied to airway dysfunction, upper airway disorder, and certainly sleep apnea is one. Sleep disordered breathing is a general category that talks about all these different things, but we'll go into the medical aspects of what's going on.
Having straight teeth and an aligned jaw and a widened palate, a properly widened palate, I mean, the proper size, that's important for all around health.
Absolutely.
Not just a pretty smile.
Absolutely. And we talk about how that relationship if we create an ideal environment for the teeth to come in, they come in straighter, the child breathes better, they learn to put the tongue in the right spot on the roof of the mouth so that the upper jaw develops normally.
And that all works toward a healthier person.
That's correct.
All right, so tonight, that's 303-690-0400 if you want to make an appointment. No obligation, by the way. It's open seating, but they just want to know who's going to be there. Brian, what's going on with your car purchase?
Yeah, I was out here at AutoNation GMC West, and I had found a GMC Acadia that had a great price on it, and the pictures all look great. I arrive at the dealership, and it's got significant hail damage that's not noted in the pictures. It's not noted in the description or anything on the advertisement. And so
yeah, but they would. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. They want to get you there, and then they're not going to sell it. I mean, they're obviously not going to sell it without telling you or without you noticing it, right? In other words, see, how do I put this? Where it would be false advertising is if they had a price listed that is artificially low, and they would never sell it for that price. It's to get you there. As far as examining it and finding something wrong with it, there's nothing wrong with that. In other words, that's something you see when you show up. But a price, or if they said some other misleading thing, like a certain percentage interest for financing, and they wouldn't deliver on it, or rebates. But condition of a vehicle, unless they said in the ad, you know, brand new, perfect, you know, something like that, and then the price was so low it got you there and you realized the low price was because of the hail, but it's still not damaging because you will find that out when you get there and look at it. It's still,
so when
they
have the pictures on there and there's no hail damage on the pictures, but then you arrive and the pictures, and then, you know, it's, I don't know if it's the same car or not, but I mean, it's got way significant hail damage when nothing's pictured.
I see what you're saying. You're saying if they used a false picture, yes, that would be false advertising. If they used a different picture.
The biggest one they do, the biggest one is when they act like they're not a dealer. They act like they're an individual selling it. That actually breaks the rules.
Yeah, some of these guys that sell several cars a year, and they do it, and they pretend they're just an individual selling a car. But listen, the photograph could be taken in such a way where it doesn't show up. Was this a newspaper ad or online or what?
No, this is cars.com, and these are 15 photos, and they have zero hail damage. But yet, when you arrive at the lot, they do have hail damage.
Well, did you call? Did you call before going there? So how do I look at it on cars.com? I'm trying to look for it. What do I search?
Yeah, it's a GM. It's at AutoNation Buick GMC West, and it's an Acadia with a 6-cylinder all-wheel drive. It should come right up.
Okay.
2017. And you sort by price.
Here's what they list here on the website on state law. It says knowingly selling a used or damaged goods as new, so it doesn't come to that. Knowingly making false representations. I don't believe you've said anything that would be false. Falsely disparaging the goods or services of another business. Advertising under the guise of hiring personnel when you're really not trying to.
And here's another problem, okay? Let's say they used a picture of that vehicle before it was damaged, okay? And they put it up there. The only time that would be considered false advertising that's actionable is if it was a pattern of them doing that over and over. In other words, one instance like this, no one's going to care about. No one at the state...
At least four advertised like this.
Okay, 4 of them. All right.
Yeah.
So, did you ask him about it?
Yeah, but it's not. Does it say in there, maybe I'm missing something, that there is no hail damage? Does it even talk about hail damage?
No, he's saying the picture leads you to believe there's no damage. So that's where I said, when you get there, you find out. So they're not really misleading you. They're not hiding it. You know, I mean, really, what... In other words, here's what I'm saying, Brian. By you going there, there's an off chance that you're going to buy the vehicle. Okay?
Sure.
There's an off chance you're going to buy it. So all they did was got you there to look at cars. They did not lie to you. It's not the same. Or false advertising is they tell you about features that don't exist for that price, and you're saying, man, I was looking all over for one that had this particular feature, and you get there and they say, oh no, it doesn't have that feature. It's not the same thing. I know you're pissed for making the trip. I understand that. And did you ask him about it? Did you say, hey man, what's going on with this? Did you?
I asked the general manager, Dennis O'Connor. He says he wishes it could change. He's been trying to get corporate to change it, and they won't.
So in other words, what he's saying is that it's an old photograph.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And multiple old photographs are on every one they've got.
Well, see, it's possible that they posted photos and then they were hit by a storm, and they figured, what the hell, we're not going to go out and change the pictures because. Sure. But it's not false advertising in the classic sense of false advertising, because no harm is going to come of it. No harm at all, unless someone literally buys it and doesn't notice it.
Sure.
You know. Yeah. But I'm sure. Now, does the price reflect? This is what I'm interested in. Does the price reflect a really low price that would be indicative of hail damage?
Yeah, I think this one I'm looking at is at like $25,867.
As opposed to what?
Well, MSRP was $41,845.
Oh my gosh!
2017. Yeah.
Wait a minute. It's almost half.
Yeah.
Whew.
But there's some out there that are priced just a couple thousand higher that have no hail damage. So
at the same place?
No, not at the same place. But
why? Wait. Why are cars with an MSRP of around 40-something thousand going for in the 20s? Why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I mean, you're telling me. Go ahead.
I called a guy out in Arkansas. There's one out there that they just sold with no hail damage for 27. So, it wasn't out of the ballpark. So. Anyway.
I just read the entire dealer board advertising rules, and it just doesn't cover this. It covers a lot of stuff, but not this.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It is a weird one. And I believe the guy when he says, we told corporate, hey, we've been hit by hail, and they haven't gotten around to changing the pictures. And frankly, I don't think they would put in...
May, though? They got hit by hail in May, and we're talking about January.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They obviously...
Would you recommend I go look for an Acadia?
I don't know. Let's see. It's those.
Doesn't Rolly have those?
He might. He carries Chevys, so you got to get the Chevy equivalent. I mean, he could find a GMC, but he would only do a dealer trade. Have you looked in the Chevy line?
Yeah, I'll look at a Traverse or something. Yeah.
God, he has all kinds of those. And how big do you want the car? Because I went from a Traverse. I love the Traverse, but I went down to an Equinox. It is absolutely beautiful. I love that little car. Have you ever looked at those?
That's what I just got totaled, so I'm familiar with the Equinox. I wanted just a little more space.
Then Traverse is wonderful. I love the Traverse. Okay. And Rolly Purefoy, man, that would be a great place to go. Seriously. And truly.
Grand Buick GMC, if he really wants the GMC.
Yeah, if you wanted to look at that Grand, he does a pretty good job there.
Okay.
That we've had good luck with his dealerships. But Rolly Purefoy, you ought to check out. His number is 303-659-8311. So, speaking of vehicles, Century RV. What about an RV? There are a lot of people who love shopping for RVs in the winter. Actually, the winter is the busiest time for RVs. And Century RV expanded into Lakewood. Now, for years, they've been advertising with me, and they've been at their location up in Longmont. And that's off of Highway 119. But you know what? They have a place now in Lakewood, 30,000 square feet. And it's indoors. So no matter what the weather is doing, you will have comfort shopping indoor at CentryRV.com. Now, it's just north of 6th Avenue, between Kipling and Sims, right next to Woodley's. They're open weekdays and Saturday, 8 to 6. Look, you can find out more at CentryRV.com, CentryRV.com. They have discounts of around $50,000 on the big ones, and then they have camping trailers under $10,000 brand new, and they have the largest used selection of RVs in the state. CentryRV.com, 303-453-1111.
the Fox Business Network, on Wall Street, stocks are mixed in afternoon trading, and in an attempt
invoice or wholesale in connection with a retail offering. I swear I hear dealer costs all
Rolly
the
used
time.
to say 2% over invoice all the time.
Yeah. I hear that too. Isn't hail damage like becoming standard equipment in Colorado?
If it's flooded, they have to put it in the advertisement.
Yeah, flood cars.
They have to do flood. They have to do totaled or salvaged. They have to say if it was ever a taxi cab or a police car.
Really?
Yeah.
See, these things I forget about over the years. I mean, I've been through them a million times.
There's so many things, but it is amazing that really, long as the picture, it doesn't even have to be the actual vehicle for sale, but it has to be the same year, make, and model.
Yeah.
Once a year, the Colorado Dealer Board, because I got a dealer's license, sends out these.
Oh, hold on. We just found something else out. Suzanne,
Arvada West Auto.
Clint is a licensed car dealer. Add that to the list. Are you a doctor as well?
No, but I really want to go to his clinic.
I do shoot up.
Are you a doctor? Tell him about stem cell therapy.
I'm going to his clinic. I mean,
He's going to conference.
Yeah, I'm going to the conference.
When are you going?
The 14th through the 17th.
He's going for us. He's going to do a lot of reporting when we have.
Well, I think it's one of the most important things happening, period.
Have they used them in the brain yet?
Yeah. Now, I've heard they've actually had in Europe some cured type 1 diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
what they're advertising in Mexico.
I mean, we don't do any of that stuff at all. We only do orthopedic stuff. But, yeah, no, type 2 diabetes as well.
Well, type 2, though, what would you be curing? I mean,
well, you get
the pancreas is usually fine.
Well, no, but you get insulin sensitivity.
Right. So how does that help with that?
It does.
With a systemic shot?
Not a systemic shot. These are the right way to do it would be go into the pancreas.
With type 2?
Or at least put it in the blood supply of the pancreas.
Maybe it regenerates it, so it makes more insulin.
But type 2 is not a disease of the pancreas.
Sensitivity, though.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to Dr. Diaz
but the
in
pancreas
Mexico.
is making the insulin.
Well, it's over-making insulin, which is pushing your blood sugar down too low.
Which is actually causing you to be more resistant.
Yeah. So you get the sensor ability of those cells gets lower and lower and lower to sugar.
So my entire future, because I've had 6 back surgeries and I'm diabetic, is stem cells.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, they just, there was just a recent thing where they 3D printed an ovary. And so rather than doing hormone replacement in the future.
My ADA lady's available. You have Joseph's number, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So rather than doing hormone replacement in the future, they'll surgically install a 3D printed new ovary.
Out of tissue.
To release.
Can you imagine that?
I know I'm not going to believe this, but I taught 3D printing.
Can they print a liver yet?
Yeah, I mean, there's a commercially available. This company's been hitting us for years. 3D printer for tissue right now on the market.
That's amazing.
Wow. So what do you do?
3D print
stem cells?
Yeah, like a little babies. Yeah.
It has no, how does it do it?
So what you do is it's like an inkjet printer. So in each little cartridge, you have one might be extracellular matrix, another one is a certain type of cell, another one's another kind of cell. It's got to be good.
Hi, Tom Martino
here. There is a topic people hate to talk about. It's addiction. Now, I've been texting a guy who's an addict who called the show, and I've been trying to get him in to get help. And one of the places I recommend, Raleigh House. Raleigh House, by the way, has a number they've established for people like him and for loved ones who have people like him in their family. The main thing addicts and their families need, the main thing, is information. What is addiction? What are the habits? How do I tell they have one? How can we get treatment? What does it cost? Where do you get it? Does insurance cover it? What helps? What doesn't? And how do I approach an addict? How do I get them to treatment? How do I get them to talk to you? They'll talk about the Raleigh House, but they didn't establish this number as a sales job. They did this as a community service. Seriously, you can ask any question you have about addiction, and they will help you. Anything at all. And they will keep it confidential, it's private, and of course, they never pressure you into selling. They'd love to tell you about the Raleigh House, a premier addiction recovery program located right here in Colorado. But that's the extent of it. They will answer all of your questions. And there is one thing for sure. Addiction will never get better without some kind of help, ever. It's just not going to get better on its own. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. That number is available to you. And if you're an addict, you can call as well. But it's made for family and friends and people who have addicts in their lives. 720-893-5559. Craig, you have a brain injury, sir?
Yes, I do.
Of what kind?
I fell off the back of a ATV and gave myself a severe concussion. So now I've got a TBI and suffering headaches nonstop and migraines.
Man, I hear that is terrible when you have a closed brain injury.
Oh yeah, no, it's not fun at all.
And you're wondering if stem cell can work with or help that.
Exactly. So it happened 5 years ago, and since then I've had a nonstop headache every day.
Now, they've done Botox treatments for that kind of thing. Have you ever done that?
I have been doing Botox for the last year, and it's cut the migraines down 75%, which is awesome.
I guess it releases tension or something. I'm not sure. Is that what it does, Dr. Centeno?
Yeah, it just relaxes the muscles in the head.
Yes. So what about stem cell therapy and closed brain injuries?
Well, actually, Craig, usually when you have headaches like this and it's from hitting your head, it's originating from your upper neck. The head bones connect the upper neck bones, so to speak. So it's common that we can treat headaches from a head hit that way, rather than treating the brain injury directly. And there's an easy way to diagnose that. I mean, literally, you can come in for diagnostic numbing shots under X-ray guidance, can figure out which part got injured by taking the pain away, and then go after that particular part. But it's usually coming from the upper cervical spine or upper neck.
Okay, and now does workman's comp cover any of that, or are they still staying away from it?
Well, no, yeah. I mean, some comp carriers will cover this.
Cool.
Certainly, they'll cover the diagnostic workup to get there, and many times a lot of the carriers will. It's a case-by-case decision, but a lot of times they'll cover it.
So you've had it covered by workers' comp.
We have.
That's good to know, Craig. That's really good to know. You ought to go check them out when they're not here. It's Centeno Schultz Clinic. Now, Dr. Centeno, I hear about Regenix too connected with you. Is that another clinic or this clinic with another name?
Yeah, so actually Regenix is much bigger. We founded that company. We have 50 U.S. sites.
Oh, you did that as a franchise kind of thing? Or
correct.
Okay.
About 8 international sites. It's Regenix that's getting insurance coverage for these things.
And you started it?
Correct.
Oh, cool. So Regenix. And of course, the Centeno Schultz Clinic. Here's his number, 303-963-9201. And it's Centeno with a C, Centeno, just as it sounds, with 2 N's. It's 1 N at Cen, and then Teno is another N, Centeno Schultz, T-Z-L-T-Z at the end of that, Schultz. CentenoSchultz.com. We also have Dr. Kent Lawson with us from Neo Kids Dentistry, the new orthodontics. If you have a question for us, now it doesn't have to be on these topics, any topic, it's 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And while we have a few minutes, Dr. Kent Lawson, we talk about veneers, and I talked about how it's better than veneers because it actually goes to the root of the problem, the narrow palate, the underdeveloped upper jaw. It helps with things like sleep apneas and problems like that. So this person wants to know in email, what if I already did cosmetic dentistry, but now I really want to correct my mouth, my bite, my sleep apneas, my TMJ. So what happens if they've already done veneers? Can they not get this done? How will it affect it?
Well, first of all, we have to do a full evaluation and to understand what the situation
but in
is.
General, if they've
but
already,
in general,
they've really just covered up the crookedness. So when you align the jaw, those teeth are going to come out of line. It's going to look like they're out of line when they're really in line.
Yeah, if they had cosmetic dentistry and maybe added laminates and things that nature, could be because the teeth were discolored or worn excessively, things like that. So if they're all really crooked and crowded, then it would make the teeth smaller because that takes up less space. But I'm not sure that that's what we're talking about. That's why the evaluation is important. But
have you worked on people who've had cosmetic dentistry in the past?
Absolutely.
Oh, you
absolutely.
have?
And full crowns and all of that. We are very creative with that type of work. If the bone structure is not ideal in a proper alignment, then we change that, and we have methods of doing that.
So it's not out if you've already done it the wrong way, so to speak. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. In fact, I don't know why anyone would bother having cosmetic dentistry anymore when this is not only a better alternative, it's cheaper. Way cheaper.
Well, when you consider full mouth reconstructions and that type of thing, you're talking 40, 50, 60,000.
I know it.
Yeah,
just the front teeth can cost you 25 grand. And but do you think it's that people think it takes longer than it does? I mean, 2 years, granted, with veneers, you can get done in a few months, right? But hell, 2 years is not long.
Yeah, and keep in mind that 2 years is for the completion of treatment, not the expansion and all of that widening and all that. That's about 4 to 6 months of the process.
You start getting improvements right away.
That's correct, yeah.
Wow. Kevin, you have a question for Dr. Centeno. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hey, Tom, great show.
Thank you.
Hey, you're a stem cell doctor. So I'm 55. When I was in high school, I had ligament surgery. About 5 years ago, I blew up my knee again. I had microsurgery. I'm having horrible knee problems with pain. And I have a plumbing company, so I'm pretty active still. I'm confused. Your doctor there, do I go to him? Like my wife says, is it gout? Is it arthritis? Is it something else I got going on? Do I go to him to find out what my problems are? Or do I go somewhere else and then go to him if it's a stem cell problem that can fix? I mean, we're confused on who do I go to actually find out what my problems are.
Good idea. Good question.
Yeah, Kevin, we will take a look at it, make the decision whether or not we can help you and what needs to be treated. What's interesting about meniscus stuff, even though it's the most common orthopedic surgery in the United States today,
it's not needed, you're thinking.
Yeah, there's 3 large randomized controlled trials showing it's no better than doing nothing.
When you told me that, I couldn't believe it. Because I've had both knees for the meniscus. They said they were smoothing it out, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're telling me if I just let it go, what would have happened?
You would have been as good as you are right now.
It just what? It just smooths out by itself?
It doesn't need to be smoothed out. What's interesting is that it's been well studied now.
Yeah.
You've got European countries starting to no longer cover it. It's probably going to happen here because we've got, again, lots of good, big research studies showing that no matter what's happening, whether it's locking, a tear with arthritis, a tear without arthritis, the surgery doesn't help.
Incredible.
So Tom, you're saying, I mean, your doctor's saying that.
Yeah.
So I would go to him, make an appointment with him to find out what because I'm having like bulging vein problems in my leg and really bad swelling behind my knee, and we're not sure what the issue is, but you're a stem cell doctor there. He would be the guy.
Yeah. We would take a look at it and let you know what's going on, and obviously if we can help it.
You know what I like about him is, frankly, there are clinics that are going to say, oh, yeah, we can take care of it, when the fake stem cell clinics, the ones that use the amniotic fluids, and they just do blind injections. I mean, we have people with reports, they go in, and they say, oh, yeah, $10,000, and they do 2 shots, and they don't use guidance, they don't use anything. They say, yeah, this will take care of it. They're just telling them that. No matter who goes in, no matter what they're going in for, they say, oh, yeah, this will work.
It's magic.
That's what they say.
It's not magic. It's a great tool. It's a great tool. It has to be applied in the right way for it to work, and the right patients for it to work.
All right. Let's talk about something that I do consider almost magic. Art of Granite. The way he manipulates granite is so beautiful. If you want your kitchen done, you know what I love about him? You can call Mitch Floria at the Art of Granite, or one of his fine colleagues. And I've loved to see this company grow like it's growing. You call up, you give him some measurements and a photograph, email him. You know what he'll do? He'll give you a price on the phone that's within hundreds of dollars. it'll be within $100 to $200, depending on the stuff you choose. He'll give you a price. Then, if that sounds good, you go out to his showroom and pick the stuff you want. The cabinets for a small markup from the manufacturer, or the granite or the stone, they charge wholesale on the coverings of the counters. They don't mark them up at all. They only charge for the fabrication and installation. Now, once he does that, then he makes an appointment to template at your home and get the job done. The whole process from the time you visit is 1 to 4 weeks, and you get value, and you get beauty, and you get art of granite. 303-386-5919. By the way, they do more than just granite, any kind of solid surface. They also, of course, will do your bathroom free. If you have the kitchen done, they'll do your bathroom at the same time free. And, of course, they tear out and haul away everything free of the old stuff. 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net.
This report is brought to you by Indeed.com.
The highway drive in fairly decent shape across the metro area. It's off highway where
Did you see these? These are the most expensive dogs in the world. Look at the size of these.
Yeah, we have about 50 U.S. clinics, about 8 international.
They weigh. Have you ever seen these before? What are they?
I have a desire to
What are they called?
Big dogs. Yeah.
Big dogs. Who you work with? I've worked with a couple of people. So I'm not probably going to
Those damn
questions on that.
Yeah, we grew organically. Eventually,
We grew a few of them.
grew a few of them.
And
And
then
then
franchise.
yeah, and then we had.
Yeah. Hold on, that's not working.
That's what from a local Liberty Media.
Those are videos. Here's the one.
So we grew a little bigger. And more recently, yeah, then more recently we did,
right here. Here's the real deal.
raised $10 million to.
It's like the world's largest sheepdog. Look at that. They call it tiny. They say that because it's so big.
Actually, about 500,000.
It's like the fat guy they call skinny.
If you work for
You don't think that's real?
stuff is covered for your health insurance.
How
includes
about this one? That's real.
Narrative, which is a big publishing house.
It's just hairy. You don't know how big it is.
Other companies. She's just a little.
How about this? This is impossible because we don't know. There's no person or company. Look at this tail.
Expertise in
Holy moly.
I would say,
It's a wolfhound.
find some doctors
There's
who are interested in doing what you're
great
doing.
big dogs. They put these.
We basically just,
Oh God.
we're on a
Daphne downstairs.
per click license
She has
model. So
the
we do
fattest cat you've ever seen. She's got to give it insulin every morning. It's so fat.
electronic
It is. It's huge. Well, the problem is our orange cat, I cut back on his food because every orange cat I see gets super fat. And I'm terrified because Daphne's has diabetes and ours will get diabetes.
Say something about Invisalign. Do you feed your pets 2 times a day? That's probably. Why don't you do them on the ones that one day just like you?
Bigger dogs, they can actually get their stomach twisted if they only eat.
No, you have the bigger dog.
But
feed them a couple times within a couple hours. So there's they have a little device. But
I see what you're saying.
So it's just like what you do.
No, that's
20%. You know, that way, but you're right. Big dogs do it. They eat a
I'll tell you why, because I got their shit scheduled down pat and I don't want to change it.
Yeah.
80%.
Does it down, is it pretty?
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Okay, we have a question by email that I thought we addressed. Hold on, where is it here? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, no, we didn't address it this time. I'm Tom Martino. This is the Consumer Troubleshooter Show. We're consumer advocates, and I have a team here that help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Referralist.com is where all our experts reside when they're not here. You can find them at referralist.com. Dr. Chris Centeno, a stem cell doctor, and has a clinic. Centeno Schultz, this person wants to know, do stem cells age? They were told by one of these chiropractor seminars that they bring in fresh, new amniotic fluid. Of course, there are no living stem cells, but they claim that there are stem cells. They're flat out lying to you. But let's just say you go in and have them harvested. What if you're older? Isn't it better to have younger stem cells?
Well, first, as you know, as you said, there's no younger stem cells. It's young and dead.
Yeah.
So young and dead is not going to work so well.
In other words, the amniotic fluids that all these chiropractors' offices are using do not have living stem cells in it. They have growth factors, but not living stem cells, and it's not stem cell therapy. It's not what the research has been done on. So when they say, though, they don't harvest stem cells because if you're an adult, your stem cells are old. Well, is there any truth to that?
The answer is we've been tracking patients back to 2005. We've treated 13,000 stem cell patients since that time. There is no relationship between the age of those people and their outcomes. So the answer is yes, your stem cell numbers decline as you get older. But the answer is no, that doesn't seem to impact clinical outcomes at all.
I wonder if you harvested stem cells when you're 22, and then you used them when you're 70.
Mark, they're doing that. My kids have their stem cells harvested from their umbilical cord at a stem cell bank. They're doing that. That was an option offered. You pay to have your kids' stem cells put away for them.
Where do you keep it, like your freezer?
No, they have a stem cell bank.
Yeah.
There's several of them around, and you pay a minimal fee a year, and they keep. Now you hope, of course, it's done legitimately. It's FDA. I think it might be controlled by the FDA. I don't even know, but they literally have stem cells that they take at the time of birth. They take all that up and package it. Really, Mark, they do, and they save it for the child.
Yeah, they do. But the bottom line is, again, this whole thing, as we've talked about, is a ruse. Dead and young doesn't work.
But can they store your kids' stem cells? I mean,
they can. They can store your kids' stem cells, and hopefully at some point it'll be legal to use them. Right now, the only legal use of your kid's stem cells is if your kid gets cancer.
Right.
Outside of that, you can't use them for anything else.
Now, Joe has a question. Go ahead, Joe.
Hello.
Hi, Joe. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. Yeah, I've got a question. I've heard mixed answers on whether or not stem cells will help with ED.
You know, Joe, we only do orthopedic stuff, so I don't have any direct experience with that. Having said that, there are urologists I know that are doing actually PRP shots for ED.
Do they do it in the penis?
They do. And apparently it's interestingly effective. Now, I can't say that I have direct experience with it, but that's what I've heard.
God, that's a hard question.
Well, stop it.
I would assume it's a painful shot.
Yeah, now, seriously, Joe, on a serious note, the first thing you want to look at with ED are your hormones to make sure they're balanced and that you have enough, really estrogen and enough testosterone and they're balanced. And that's one thing. And then diet is another. I mean, overall health in general, rather than just putting a Band-Aid on it. Well, the thought of that's just... Lou, what's happening?
Everything's good.
What's your question?
Listen, I'd like to ask the doctor a question.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
I am in my mid-80s.
Uh-huh.
And I have spinal stenosis. And I've had it for quite some time. And currently I have a neuromodulation device implanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have a lot of lower back pain that doesn't take care of. Would stem cells help with that?
Are you in a wheelchair, Lou, or are you walking around?
No, I'm in good health outside of that.
Okay, good.
You know, Lou, it may or may not. I'd have to know a lot more and look at MRIs and all that other stuff. But we do treat patients who have spinal stenosis, actually usually with more platelet-based treatments than stem cell. You know, one of the things that's interesting is that, a lot of these clinics that are advertising this stuff, stem cell.
Right.
The bottom line is we do 8 or 9 platelet treatments for every stem cell treatment, meaning that PRP is very effective.
It's very good.
For a lot of things, and the stem cells only go to when absolutely necessary.
So I have the problem I have with that device attached. I can't have an MRI. I have the original MRI that's several years old.
What would you do about that?
Yeah, that might help. So then we'd go off the old MRI.
Or what about X-rays? They won't help?
Well, we could do some x-rays, we could go off a good clinical exam, put it all together, and try to make some decisions.
All right. Tyler, you have an opinion on bait and switch, you said? Oh, we're running out of time, Tyler. But can you quickly tell us?
Yeah, real quick. So, you know, the company, it's a great company, but you know, getting a lot of situations out there, and basically how it works.
Okay, Tyler, it wasn't, to make a long story short, and it wasn't quick. I'm sorry, I'm out of time. Remember that new orthodontics tonight, 303-690-0400.
Elevate your home this new year with new looks.
I learned stuff. Everything's promo, right?
Yeah, we'll do Salisbury. You got a few minutes.
I got to do a promo, guys, which means I'm going to talk into the mic.
That was great. Very nice to meet you.
Last time you were here, you dropped the bomb about 90% fake clinics.
Yeah.
And then today, what was the other thing you said? Oh, caffeine is one I've never heard.
I haven't either.
Oh yeah, look. You know, if you look at some of those diet books, like the ketogenic stuff, or if you look at South Beach Diet or Atkins, they all talk about how caffeine really impacts blood sugar. Now, again, it just depends on your genetics. If you've got the right genetics, not much. You got the wrong genetics, it impacts it a lot.
I had no idea caffeine would have anything to do with it.
Yeah, well. Think about it. Go to Starbucks. Do they serve deli?
We're going to have this once a month.
Or do they serve
So if you could still
carbs?
continue to
It's
promote
Carb City.
Yeah.
There's a reason it's Carb City. The reason why.
Well, but I'm talking straight black coffee.
Straight black coffee.
For that matter, caffeine pills. And I will forth your so that the only time you contact me is when it's not.
Don't you think fasting is really the thing?
Okay, good.
I think it's pretty cool. I check out that prolong thing. Yeah, it's probably your experience. It's probably not needed.
I told you what.
I just never heard of it.
But even extended fasting
I had
for
when I was 12.
tumor something.
Oh man, there's some cases where they've gone 30 plus and literally the cancer's turned around.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's amazing. I can't imagine 30 plus. Oh man,
the body's amazing healing back factory.
I think your brain knows the difference between, believe it or not, fasting. In other words, I'm making the decision not to eat, and starving, being where there is no food.
Well, no, psychologically, Mark, but the good part is that you don't want your body to know the difference, because that's what kicks it into repair and maintenance. If your body thought you were just kidding around, you wouldn't kick in that survival.
That's true.
So your whole, psychologically, of course, you're not stressed. Okay, that's better. But you want your body.
It may change my life because my wife.
There's no food around.
I get a buzz usually around 72 hours. I literally have a high. Literally, every time. I've done it 4 times. This will be my 5th.
Well, that marijuana helps too.
Mark, you know what?
It's true though. I guess I don't know if I really got a buzz, but I think I do.
I'm going to go through. My lower back is starting to flare a little more.
Oh yeah, come on.
I'll get evaluated. I'll bring up the latest MRIs.
Yeah, you have Martino. Just send him to Mark.
You know what I had?